Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Kevin Okwana. I want to welcome you to tonight's webinar. This is going to be pretty insane. It's going to be totally different from anything that you guys have seen out there on the internet. And real quick, if you can hear me, could you hop in the question box and let me know you can hear me? Let me know where you're from. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We got Carl coming in from Colombia. Ray, how you doing, my friend? Stu from Kansas. We got Corey from Missouri. Oh, this is crazy. It's piling up, guys. We got Malaysia on the line, Costa Rica on the line, Alabama, Massachusetts. What's up, Paul from Massachusetts? This is cool, guys. It's packing out, and I guess you guys can all hear me. So here's what we got going on. We are going to be teaching you tonight literally what the webinar registration said. 6 figures with no traffic, no recruiting, and it's something that you can start tonight and actually earn an income with tonight. So if that excites you guys, let me know. Let me know, because this is amazing. And we have a couple superstars on the line tonight that are going to come out and show you guys what we've got for you. One's going to be my good friend Hitesh and Roger Langell. Okay, and we're really excited to have Roger out because if you don't know what he's been able to do, he was literally able to sit on his living room couch and make a full-time income in his spare time. So it's very exciting to us. And myself, I'm coming in from Japan right now, guys. I'm actually serving in the military over in Japan, and I wanted to make sure I could be on here tonight because it just goes to show you that what you're going to see tonight is something that even a military sergeant in the Air Force in Japan can do. So if I can do this, then anyone on this call can definitely make an income with what you're going to see. It's really the only thing out there that you can make an income with without having any kind of experience, without having to get technical with anything. And it's just so amazing. And if you've been to one of our webinars before, guys, you know that we have a tendency to take screenshots of people who are on the webinar that have just got started with what we're going to show you tonight, and they're making money in their first couple of days, a lot of people in their first 24 hours, so very, very excited. So what we're going to do is I want to actually bring out tonight a good friend of mine, Hitesh, and he's going to go over some stuff with you, and then we're going to get Roger to come out and really show you the nuts and bolts of what's happening here and how you guys can create just an insane income with what we've got going on. So let me take a look and see if my good friend Hitesh is with us.
I'm here.
Awesome, awesome,
Can you
Hitesh.
hear
How
me?
you doing, buddy? So this is
I'm
awesome,
doing
guys.
very well.
I'm so excited when Hitesh gets on here because I met Hitesh a long time ago when I was looking for traffic to a website. I want to get a bunch of traffic to a website, and I stumbled onto what he was doing, and he helped me out. He drove a ton of traffic to what we were doing, and it was just an amazing experience. And now years later, I get to work with him and bask in the brilliance that is Hitesh and what he's got out there. So give him a warm welcome, guys. He's an amazing person. He's done so many things online, just doing affiliate marketing, network marketing, all these things. And he came out. There we go. I got some Hitesh love in the chat. And he came out and he saw what Roger was doing and what the systems that we were working with, and he said, you know what, this is the only thing that the average person can do, and that's kind of what got us started on this path. But Hitesh, my friend, if you could take this over and show these guys a
Yes,
little bit about what
I'm
we're
here.
going
Well,
on.
as you all can see, Kevin is a very humble and a very kind person, and he likes to build up people a lot. So he brings people like me on, and he's like, "Oh, he's a great guy," and blah blah blah. So what he has done is he psychologically set you up to make you think that you're about to get this awesome stuff now. So I could just ramble about nonsense, and you guys will think you're getting some words of wisdom. So hopefully that's what will happen. But if you can all see my screen right now, if you can just go ahead and say, I can see the screen. It should say phase one. It should say something like that on there. If you can just go ahead and say yes, or yeah, I see the screen, or anything to the awesome. So we have all these people saying yeses. Wonderful. Okay, now guys, before I start talking about everything that we're going to be doing tonight, I want to make something very, very clear. Okay, this is going to be totally different from every webinar you've been on. This is not going to be a standard sales pitch or anything like that. In fact, this is going to be the complete opposite of everything you've probably heard before. Okay, our aim is actually not to get you to give us $1,000 or $5,000 or something silly like that for some special marketing secrets or anything of that nature. Instead, what we're going to do is we're actually going to show you live, step by step, exactly how any average person, anyone can literally go today, can start today, and go within the next 3 to 6 months, can develop a six-figure a year income. Okay. And what I've done for that is I've basically broken down the process in 3 phases. Okay, and I'm going to show you exactly why most of the people fail and why they're never able to succeed. And I'm also going to show you exactly what the solution is to that. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is basically phase one. Okay, so majority of the people on this call are probably in this situation. And this is where almost all of us start out. Actually, most of the people who start looking into online income generation is because they're stuck in a position in life where they need to generate some extra income. And here's what sadly happens. They need some extra income. They go online. They see like 50 different sales pitches, about 100 different magical softwares and all this kind of different stuff. They end up spending a bunch of money on it. And then they spend, a few months at least trying to figure out this whole game about what is traffic generation, what is PPC, what is SEO, what is conversions, and this and that. And by the time you stop, you realize that you spent a bunch of time and a bunch of money and you've not actually generated any income. That's probably the most discouraging way to begin any business. Okay, one of the reasons that I actually ended up doing as well as I did is because I was very blessed that when I started out, the very first campaign I ever ran was a huge success, and I started making money right off the bat. So I had all this motivation, and I tasted how well it could be, how good it could be, and how easy it could be to make money. So that's why I continued with it. But I think a lot of people failed right in that stage because there's all this stuff that you have to learn. And then the worst part is that you basically are trying to become a marketer at the same level as these marketers who are selling you stuff, right? And there's this big problem there because if you're trying to become a marketer and you're not gifted in that naturally, and most of us are not, okay, most of us are not gifted to be marketers naturally. When you're trying to become that, you're now basically trying to educate yourself about something, and you're not necessarily going to generate an income with that, okay? So most people right here, they start failing because they are little to no earnings to begin with. They have all of the stuff about traffic and marketing stuff to learn and to figure out. And this is what results in a very common failure here. So our goal is totally different. Our goal is not to make you $50,000 a month right now. Our goal for everybody who's in phase one is to get you on a path to profitability by the end of this webinar. Okay, so by the end of this webinar, you should be able to understand, okay, this is exactly what I do step by step to start making money. And we're going to get this done at almost free or completely free cost. Okay, so that's our aim for this webinar right now. So here's our solution in this phase. To get this phase figured out, to start making some money, start getting to profitability, what we're going to do is we're going to start piggybacking. We don't want to figure out marketing. We don't want to figure out traffic generation or research. We're going to piggyback off of the biggest e-commerce stores, biggest e-commerce websites. We're going to piggyback off of the best and the biggest marketing platforms out there. We are not going to figure it out ourselves. We're not going to generate any traffic. We're not going to do any marketing. We're just going to be happy to piggyback and make some profits. That's our aim in phase one. That's what Roger is going to do actually. When he comes out, he's going to show you very specifically live exactly what this looks like. And the aim here, again, like I said, is not to make a whole bunch of money. It's just to make solid profits. So you're encouraged. So you have some money to actually begin scaling up a business. Once we have done that, we're going to move on to phase two. In phase two, our job is actually just going to be to get rid of the boss, which means we want to be able to generate a full-time income now and get rid of a side job or whatever else that you're doing right now. If you are in that situation, you want to get out of that. We just basically want to be able to get out of a situation where you have a mean boss or something, and he looks mean and he kind of looks disfigured actually, but we'll just say that he's a mean boss. We just want to get rid of that, okay? So in this case, what we're going to do is at this point, you will have some earnings already coming in from your phase one, but you will now have scaled up your income. We're going to start scaling up the income by increasing our profits. We're going to start generating a whole lot more money just using the stuff we're going to learn with Roger from the first phase. We're just going to grow it more. And this is the stage that is the trickiest, because at this stage, you have two ways to go. You can either just start trying to manage everything and you'll try to become a marketer again and you'll start getting overwhelmed and discouraged, or you will say, this is awesome. You're going to start enjoying the income you're generating and you're going to start putting things on autopilot, which is going to be our final and the third step, okay? So in the third phase, what we're going to do is basically we're going to go for freedom, which as you can see is Mr. Gibson here, yelling for freedom. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically turn everything into a completely passive mode. We're going to automate everything. We're going to start generating residual income. And at this point is when you can actually experience the freedom and the lifestyle that every company sells you on. And this is what happens, right? You guys are used to getting on webinars. You guys are used to getting on sales pitches or whatever you see, and everybody sells you this. This is what they're selling you. Or you'll be able to go out and buy cars and go on vacations and do whatever you want in life because you'll have this residual income. But you know that that never happens. Like 99% of the time, it does not happen because you don't have a blueprint, because you're not following this process. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring Roger out. He's going to show you the process, exactly what we're going to do in phase one, exactly what we're going to do to start getting you to profitability right off the bat. You're going to see how easy it is. You're going to see there is no traffic generation, no marketing, no recruiting, nothing of that sort. You're just going to be able to generate an income with this. And then we're going to show you how to make it completely free for you. You don't even have to pay us for it. And then we're going to go on to other steps. We're going to show you how to scale that up. And then we're going to show you how to completely put it all on autopilot and develop a massive six-figure residual income. Okay. And when I say that, I actually recognize some names on the call right now. There are some people on the call right now that literally today, using DS Domination, have already made more than $1,000 just today. Okay. So having said all that, let's bring out Roger. He's going to walk us through phase one. He's going to walk us through what we're going to do specifically in this. And you guys can see and just follow along, take some notes, and make sure you're prepared to ask some questions. At the end of this presentation, we're going to do some Q&A, and we'll answer all of the questions that you have. Okay, so let's bring out Roger, and let's go.
Hey guys, I'm here. I'm just setting up the screen for you. Can everybody see Big Monster eBay on your screen right now? Just go ahead and check yes there in the guest box there. That'd be excellent. And if you guys can hear me okay, fantastic. Guys, I have a tendency to not be as logical as Hitesh and not be as passive as Kevin. I have a tendency to get a little bit crazy. And I'm going to try and slow that down because I'm so excited about what's going to be here for you, but I don't want to be salesman-y or anything. I want to make sure you get this. What I want you to do as you're going through here is remember what Hitesh said, and this is ground zero. You're starting. We're going to get you going for basically free. And you're going to, what I want you to do during this whole little segment of the presentation is ask yourself, can you do this? And annoyingly enough, I'm going to ask out loud, can you do this, where the answer is obvious as we go through each and every single step. So, again, my name's Roger Langell. If you haven't met me, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. And 10 years ago, I'm working at a restaurant, around 10 years ago, maybe 8, 9 years ago, 86 hours a week. Okay, I'd come out of college, married a girl, my wife, Heather, and we moved down to North Carolina where I went into a family business atmosphere. I owned half of a restaurant. I was working 86 hours a week, making $6 an hour, something like that. It came up to $600. Around year 3, I started looking for memorabilia for the restaurant. I discovered these Coke cups on eBay selling for $26, and I had for 6 of them, and I had cases of them. So I really needed some side money, so I sold them. I sold out of them. Then I went to the dollar store that was in the plaza where our restaurant was and sold some stuff, but I couldn't return it. And I was kicking French fry boxes in the door on a Monday and everything else. And that was a messy platform. There's a little bit of money there. Then I went to Walmart, TJ Maxx, got stuff that was on sale, tried to sell that where I could return if it didn't sell. Thought I had a viable business model, but my only day off was still kicking French fry boxes in the door at the post office. And then from there, I started to conceive drop shipping, and the big eye-opener was there's all these sites and all this flow of cash and money and different things going on the internet. Well, eBay made it so I could have a presence on the internet easily, the average person could, and I could have a location in the internet world, an eBay store or an eBay account, and then I just had to figure out how to supply that store because eBay was willing to supply all the customers. So while others were celebrating the ease of buying online and stuff like that, I was looking at the cash flow, and I want to show you what I came up with and show you how easy it is. I'm over at Amazon.com, and we all know how to get to Amazon.com, and I'm just going to type in blue, and behind it I'm going to type Amazon. And the reason I put Amazon behind the word blue is because Amazon sells other items. Other companies sell on Amazon, and I don't want to end up looking at other companies' listings right now. I want to look at Amazon's items. The reason I picked blue is you can start with anything, any color. I could have typed in red, cat, dog, lamp, yellow, anything, and then put Amazon behind it. So when I type that in, the only important thing I want you to take from this right now is there's over 2 million results for blue, okay? And if it was something else, there'd be millions of results. Basically, there's a lot to choose from, and I want you to question yourself if you can go to Amazon.com and type something in the box and click search, which you certainly can. The first thing that comes up is this dishware set right here on the screen. Now, I'm going to go over to eBay in just a second. I'm going to research this dishware set. Not looking to particularly sell this. I don't know if this is a $1 million money maker. I don't know anything. And if you're checking this out for the first time, you don't know anything yet either. I'm just going to say, let's just start with something. So I'm going to go over to the screen on eBay. I'm going to type in a few keywords like Pyrex, which was the maker, kitchen, and then 10. And I'm just going to search for that and see if anybody's attempting to sell that on eBay, see what the atmosphere is on eBay, see if it's, you know, if there's even a listing here. So as I go through here, I start seeing all these kitchen dishes, and these are the dishes I'm interested in selling, right, or interested in researching up on eBay for sale right now for various pricing points. And you'll learn that the price doesn't even matter, but that's not important at this point in this juncture. So now I see all these listings, and the first thing I notice is they have this professional-looking photo, okay? And you don't have to know anything about taking professional-looking photos. All you have to know is to type in something on eBay to try and research something from Amazon. That's all you have to know right now, and just recognize the difference between a professional Amazon photo versus somebody taking a picture in their kitchen like this right here, okay? So I'm just going to grab one of these listings, and I'm going to see that the price is $26. Okay, it's for sale right now. If you need this, head over to eBay, grab yourself some dishes. But we're not interested in that. All I'm saying to myself at this point is, hey, you're using Amazon as a supplier, and I'm going to explain that in a second, how you can do that and make money too. But so far, I think everybody can do what I just did. Now I'm going to go over here under this name right here and click See Other Items. Now, in the videos that you're going to learn about here in the future, you're going to learn that you're actually going to be watching my computer screen just like you are now, okay? Learning every single step of the way, so you don't have to memorize anything right now, all right? Now, I want to just give you a little bit of functionality. Basically, what's going on is right now on eBay, there's 44 minutes left on this pistol case right here, and there's 2 bids on it, okay? So it's going to sell for something. We don't know what it's going to sell for, so I'm not going to use that as concrete research. It could sell for $1 million. It could sell for $26. I don't know. But I'm going to look at it as the buy it nows. So right now on eBay, you can buy this smoothie maker for $34.95 from this seller. When I look at it and click on it, I see 3 of them have sold already. I recognize this is an Amazon photo, so he's probably using Amazon as a supplier. So I look at what they sold for, $35 each, $6 shipping, $41. I'm going to scroll down, I'm going to grab part of his description, and I'm going to say, okay, you're getting $41 every time you sell one of those. What's your cost? And when I come over here, I see it's $23 with free shipping, or a markup of $18 times 3 sold, $54. With a little bit of eBay fees, he probably pocketed about $45, and it took him 4 minutes work to make $45. So I'm just going to do a couple more examples, and I'll explain in even more detail. I know already, I can see the question box, the eyes are opening up in there, but I'm going to show you a little bit more detail, and you're probably saying, "What? He's really showing us this. He's giving. This is real. This isn't a you could do it. We're doing it live right now." And that's the difference. That one of the differences that Hitesh was talking about at the beginning of this. Here's some dishware selling. They're bids, but I don't want to look at bids right now. I want to look at buy it now. So I'm going to look at this travel backpack. They sold 2 of them so far for $45 each, $4 shipping, or $49.20 a piece. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to grab part of the description here to see exactly what the cost is over at Amazon. I paste this in, I click go, and you'll see there's some multiple listings right here. I'm going to grab the first one and see if there's variations in colors and see if he's getting that from here. So let me go back. There was clearly a lot of them. This is a dark blue. Let me see if I can find a dark blue. Navy, that's 45. This one here is 49. As I go through here, this is a great indication to show you guys that I'm doing this live, because I didn't pre-set up to show you a bunch of huge profits. So in this particular listing right here, if he's using this one, he's breaking even on that. So there's no money being made on this description right here, but he might be using something down here. This is a multiple facet listing. I have to do a little bit more research, but I'll just check one more. Here's a black one for $34.95. Now, if I click the back button, I go a little bit further to see what else he's selling successfully. Here's a buy it now, some sort of closet stand that sold for $68. And if I grab part of his description and head over to Amazon.com and paste this in and do a search for it, I will see the cost is $47, $21 profit minus shipping, or, I'm sorry, minus eBay fees. He made about $15, $16 for 4 minutes work. Now, we're not going to step away right now and say, look how much money you can make, rock and roll, let's do it. We're going to actually show you more of exactly the idiosyncrasies of how this works, because I've done this and I've shown, of course, a lot of people how to make money, and I know your questions without even looking at them. So right away, I want to show you a couple things. Amazon is the supplier in this model. The beginning model where you start making money, putting yourself in the black, moving towards a couple $1,000s a month, stage one. My question for you guys right now is, can you do this? I think so far everybody can do this, but they might have a couple follow-up questions. I'm going to answer those as I go along right now. What this person has done is move this image over from Amazon over to eBay. And it's just a matter of right-clicking on it. We show you in the video exactly how to do that. It's 2 seconds work. It's not magical. It's not difficult whatsoever. Then they'll take the description here, get organized with freestanding closet. They will copy this description, and they will paste it over to eBay. Get organized with freestanding closet. It's right there. Okay? After that, they will put a good title on it, and then they will set the price, and then they will list it for sale. 4-minute process, $20. Just like that. This is an example right here. Now, what I'm going to teach you is if you came over here and you ran across this seller, you could literally go, I'm going to be $66.95. I'm going to use this title, but I'm also going to use the title optimizer and the training that you guys provide and out-title this person. And what you'll learn is people aren't going to search for a closet organizer and type in no tool assembly. If you were looking for a closet organizer on here, maybe the ladies on here can give me some support on this, would you type into eBay, I want a closet organizer, easy no tool assembly? Okay? That would be, those are wasted keywords, and what we'll teach you and you'll learn is how to put better keywords in there, okay? How about storage? Right now, if you did this title and you put $66.95 and you put storage in your title, and this next person that came along and they're like, I need some garage storage, this person wouldn't even come up. You would be the only person in the game, and of course you're going to turn around and sell this item, okay, just that easily. Next week, that $20 is yours for 4 minutes work. And as I go through here, I can add this up and I can search them over and over again and show you multiple sales and multiple sales and multiple sales. And this person actually right now, if I took a glance at how many pages he has, he's probably making $25,000, $30,000 a year right now, okay? And in my heyday, I was doing $1.2 to $1.8 million in sales, 2,500 listings off for sale myself personally, and just making a fortune from my living room. And then I evolved into different markets, and I met the right people at the right time to be able to bring the training to you that you're going to see throughout this webinar, okay? Now, what happens, this is an important point. what happens is when somebody comes along and they see your closet organizer for $66.95 and they turn around and buy it, you're going to have $66.95 in your PayPal, your virtual bank account. Congratulations. It's sitting there. It's yours. Okay? You can then come over to Amazon, add this to your cart right here, sign in, and you're going to have to enter the customer's information. Okay? eBay is going to give you the customer's information, and then you check out, and this right here ships direct right to the customer. Okay? You don't touch it. It's not in your garage. There's no overhead. There's no thousands of dollars you got to put up front. Anything like that, that's called drop shipping, and you're tapping into a market flow of money because of the existence of eBay, because of the existence of online stores. If we step back and I say, you know, remember earlier in this I said when the online stores came out, everybody's celebrating that they could get some shoes from California cheaper than they could at their local mall. I was looking at cash flow and saying, hey, I can now be part of the game. I don't have to have a physical structure. I don't have to have a greeter. I don't have to have a Chinese supplier. I don't have to have all of that. Amazon is selling this stuff to customers right now. And here they're willing to pay $47. Here they're willing to pay $68. There's a price range there where I can tap into that now. You know, why shouldn't we be part of the retail environment and the merchants and the buying and the selling? They made it easy for us. So what I did is I started teaching people, and we're teaching you this at the same time. And I'm going to pre-answer a couple questions that are going to come up, and then I'm going to throw the webinar back. Okay? First question you may have is, why would anybody pay more on eBay than they do on Amazon? And I'm going to show you another seller. I'm going to click on advanced search. I'm going to click on buy seller. And I'm just going to show you somebody else that I've trained. And guys, I could sit on this webinar and show you this till the cows came home, okay? I'm typing in a seller ID, and I'm typing in show me the completed listings in the last couple weeks. And when I do a search for that, notice these all white background professional Amazon photos, and look at the sales in green, okay? This is going on right now with or without you. So why would somebody get it on Amazon or on eBay instead of Amazon? Well, look at the clothing you're wearing right now, whatever you're wearing. Pair of jeans. Did you get the cheapest price on the planet for that pair of jeans? Did you go out and get the denim and sew it together yourself, thus getting the cheapest price? No. Probably more like Levi's made it in China. It came over here. It was sitting in a drop shipper warehouse, and then Levi's picked that up, put it in a store. The store marked it up for the third or fourth time. You came in, you liked the jeans, you bought them. And that's what's going on. People come on here and they say, I need one of these, and they buy it. All right? Some people price compare, don't get me wrong, but others, like myself, I'll come on here and I'll say, I need ankle weights. Well, I won't say that. These guys will pick on me on their line if I even allude to the fact that I'm lifting weights. Is there a candy bar on here? Just kidding. So they come on here and they say, I need these weights, and they just buy them. They don't go, maybe it's cheaper here, maybe it's cheaper there. In fact, eBay has the aura of having the cheapest price, which is even better for us. And that's why that occurs. The second question you guys will have, and I'll pre-answer that, is what about saturation? I'm going to show you guys right now that on, I don't have the exact number, but on Amazon right now, there's about 27 million items for sale. Now, that means if we trained 1 million people how to do this, you could each list 27 items. What you'll discover is they're going to sell at about a 60 to 65% rate, which means you'll sell about 14 a month. And even if you have them marked up to make $5 each, you'll make $70 a month. We're not going to train 1 million people to do this. We can't do that. Also, what you'll learn later in the webinar is there's going to be other sites and other suppliers. Plus, if you vary your titles, people are going to come in and like they found that guy on that organizer and you added storage. Well, that's like 2 separate listings. So there is 0% chance of saturation. It's absolutely impossible. The only way that this ends is if eBay and Amazon, all these companies go out of business, and we got bigger problems then. Now, before I throw it back to Hitesh, I just want to reflect on the model. He said something very important about the steps that you're going to be taking here. And this is what I wanted to show you. Imagine this is like a standard pool slide, or a slide that you go up and you walk up the slide and you go down, you go down here and you're at the bottom. Well, this is somewhat indicative of our model. Where other companies and other businesses, if you try and do something online, it's like this. And retirement occurs at the top here. And you jump on and you buy something down here because it looks flashy. And you might get to here, if you really gut it out, you get to here, but you got a 99.99% chance of not getting here. Now this model here, what I just showed you is the initial steps. If you can achieve those different steps, then it just gets easier, because as you progress through our system, you understand it, you make lots more profit. In just our second level, you start making $50, $100 a sale, and then it goes up and up from there. So this is a more accurate representation of our model, except our stairs aren't that high of a climb. It's more like a kiddie slide where you take 1 or 2 steps and then you start achieving success. Now, the first thing I want to see in this chat box before I throw it over is, does everybody, every single person on this webinar, think they can do what I just showed you, what you can do? Can you absolutely be successful with what I just showed you? Go ahead and throw that answer into the box. If you can absolutely be successful, if you can handle step 1, if you can make sure you can do that. You see the answers are pouring in, yes, 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 easy. Now, if you can absolutely do that and succeed with doing that, well, then you're going to absolutely succeed firing your boss, everything else. But there is an issue with this. The issue with this is that you have to take action. You absolutely have to do something to achieve this success. You have to watch a dang 3-minute video to get your listing up. And then you got to watch a 3-minute video on how to ship the listing once it sells. So you do have to take action. I mean, if there's a pile of money outside your home right now, you still have to open the door and go pick it up and put it in the bank for it to mean something, right? So all you have to do is take action, and the rest is done for you. I'm going to throw at this point back over to you, Hitesh. Thank you very much.
Okay, you didn't have to throw
it. You took it. You're beautiful.
Yep. Thank you. Okay, so everybody clearly sees how awesome phase 1 is and how easy phase 1 is. Okay. Now here's the beauty about this, is that the same model, we're just going to scale it up for phase 2. Okay. So you already know how to do this now. You know how easy it is. So your phase 2 is just as easy. Okay. And here's all we're going to do in phase 2. So here's what we just understood, and here's what we just did in phase 1. We have suppliers and we have the marketplace. Okay. Usually in the world, suppliers are basically the producers. Okay. So they are the factories where things are being produced, the manufacturers, or they're the farmers who are growing stuff. And then the marketplaces are the malls and the stores and the specific grocery stores where the things are being sold. In our case, what we're doing is we're jumping into that same thing. We're using Amazon as our supplier, we are using eBay as our marketplace, and we're making some money along the way. Okay, great. Phase 1, super easy. We completely understand that. But how do we scale this up? Well, it's very easy. In the next phase, we're going to start using a whole lot more suppliers, and we're going to use more marketplaces than just eBay. So instead of just selling stuff from Amazon and selling stuff on eBay, now we're going to be selling stuff from a lot other places on eBay, and we're going to be selling those things on a lot of different locations as well. So eBay is not the only marketplace we're going to use. We're actually going to be using many other marketplaces as well through this whole process as we scale this up. Now, there's something very important I want you to understand before I continue this explanation. What we have done so far is that we have the only money that we will ever use for phase 2 is the money that we already made in phase 1. So you are never going to actually spend money out of pocket beyond this point. Okay, that's the other reason, like I explained, the one big factor why people fail is they're constantly throwing money over and over at one course after another, at one training, at some software, blah, 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 and they are never going to see success because they're constantly losing the money instead of gaining the money. So in our case, starting at phase 1, which we're going to show you how to get in at virtually at free, we're going to show you exactly how you're never going to spend any money on that either. But you see there are 3 things that are happening in this phase 2. Not only are you scaling your income up, you're actually doing 2 more things. First of all, you're making sure that saturation point never actually happens. It cannot happen because we are not limiting ourselves to an Amazon eBay game. Okay, this is much more than that. Okay, so we're involved with a whole lot of other stuff in here as well. Additionally, what we're doing is that we are reaching audience that we would not reach otherwise. There's audience out there that's not buying on eBay. We're going to be able to reach those. There's audience out there that's not selling on Amazon. We're going to be able to reach those as well. And what I'm going to do is actually something that was not planned originally in this webinar. I'm going to actually show you, if you guys thought that what Roger just showed you was easy, I'm going to make it a step even easier than that. Okay, so watch this, guys. Okay, this is going to be something that we are going to make available to you as well. Now watch this. Let's say that you just want to make a bunch of money, right? And you have no time to research, you don't want to do anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to select our source. Let's say we say, I want to make money with Walmart. I'm going to say, I want to make $8 per sale. Okay, that's our phase 2 point, right? I want to make $8 per sale in profit, or I want to make $12 per sale in profit. And I remember I saw a question earlier where somebody said, oh, I don't know if I can, how can I calculate the PayPal fees in here and the eBay fees and so on? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going ahead and type in keyboard. Okay, that's it. That's all I've done at this point. I've just typed in keyboard. I've selected I want to make $12 per sale. I'm going to hit search and watch this. In about 3 seconds, it pulls in the numbers and it says, hey, here is a product. Here's what's selling for. Here's what you want to list it for on eBay, including the eBay fees and the PayPal fees and all those fees calculated so that you will make $12 sale, $12 profit on this. That's how easy it is. Here you go. Grab this one and sell it for 148. Oh, and you need the description and the information and all that stuff. Just click on this and it's going to open up the product for you. You can copy paste the information and the image is over. But here's even better. You can see the rating of the products, so you know which products are going to sell well. We see this one is rated a little lower than the others, so we're probably not going to focus on this one as much because over here we have all these other products that are selling for good prices, right? That's how easy this is in phase 2. I mean, if this isn't easy enough, I don't know what else is. You don't even have to go to Amazon or Walmart or wherever, all these other suppliers, because we're going to show you about 8 other suppliers in phase 2. You don't have to go to any of them either. You can just put in a keyword, and this will give you everything. You just copy paste the stuff over. The other fun stuff about this whole process is that we're actually going to show you another couple ways to make a whole bunch of money in secret from these places, where these places will actually give you money to sell their product while you're making a profit off of selling their product. And it's just that powerful. Okay, so this is some of the crazy stuff that we already are going to be releasing to everyone on here, and you'll be able to use this and just go crazy. You can put 1,000 listings up if you want. Okay, now let me continue this imagery here. Okay, so now we have all these products from all these suppliers and all these locations. We are selling them on all these different marketplaces. We are making a profit on all of them, and notice so far we are not doing any of the traditional things that cause people to fail. We are not generating any traffic. We are not split testing any ads. We are not doing any advertising. We're not running an email marketing campaign. We are not recruiting anybody. We're not actually doing the sales copy. We're not doing anything that you would do in a traditional income opportunity or a business opportunity or anything like that. And this is why this is so powerful, because this is what makes the average person successful versus putting them back in and making them fail. Okay, and the best part is that this is super fast. You can start doing this, and we know people who have been making sales in their first day or the first 2 days. Actually, there's a bunch of testimonials that we get in all the time. Here's somebody who just made 2 sales in the same night. We got another one, a person just is making sales pretty much immediately. We had one person who was watching the videos and they made the sales while they were still watching the videos. In fact, every webinar we do, we have people who are making sales during this process. While we're doing the webinar, there are people who are making sales while on the webinar. So that's how awesome this is. Okay, so just to reiterate and make this super clear and super easy, phase 1, we are using Amazon and eBay. It's the easiest thing to do. It's fast. We're going to start doing that. In phase 2, that's in phase 1. In phase 2, we are going to expand to a lot more suppliers. We're not going to restrict ourselves to Amazon. We're not going to restrict ourselves to eBay. We're going to use a lot more marketplaces as well. We're going to start generating a much bigger profit margin as well. So let me give you an example. When you're doing the Amazon eBay thing, what you'll find is that for the most part, not as a rule, but as for the most part, you're making small profits. You're making $5, $10, $20 profits. That's basically the range. You can make a whole lot more per sale, but that's basically what you make per sale. Now, there are other suppliers out there and other marketplaces out there where you can make much bigger profit margins. You can make $100, $150, $200 profits. In fact, I remember seeing a couple of sales where it was a $410 profit margin. Okay, that's just in a single sale. That's all what we're going to do in phase 2. Okay, and phase 2, like I explained earlier, this is all about now we're just scaling up. We're getting to an income point where we can replace our jobs if we have one. We can live a comfortable lifestyle on the income we are generating from this, and we are still not doing any of the traditional marketing. Okay, so that's what we're doing in phase 2. So this is our phase 2. Actually, I'm going to color code these. So our phase 1 is eBay and Amazon. And our phase 2, I'm going to color code that red, is all of this stuff. Okay. Now, so far, everybody understands this is super easy to do, and this makes all the sense in the world. There is one downside to everything that we've done so far, which is that it is not entirely automated. Okay. It's not purely an income coming in on a residual basis. Okay. So what we're going to start doing in phase 3 is that we're going to start automating this. And at the same time, we're going to start scaling it up to 6 figures, and we're going to set up a second 6 figures passive income for ourselves too. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on into our phase 3 side, which is basically going to be focused on complete automation of traffic generation and sales generation and all that kind of stuff. And this is how we're going to generate a massive second income for ourselves as well. So here is how this whole thing plays out. Now what we're going to do is on this phase, we basically purchase what's DS Domination Pro. That's what we have access to. That's what we are using. And this is going to cost us $19.95 but we're going to per month, but we're going to basically show you how to get that for free. Okay, so hang on for a second. We're going to show you how basically that's not going to be a cost to you at all. In phase 2, we're going to use our income from phase 1, and we're going to get DS Domination Elite, which is going to be $99 a month. Now we're going to do a lot bigger profit margins. We're going to do all that stuff. But again, we're not going to be paying out of pocket. We're going to be using our income from phase 1, unless you're somebody who's just like, you know, I don't care. I have money. I don't want to start at phase 1. I'll start at phase 2. You can just do that too. Then we have other things in here. We have Unleashed, which is a one-time cost of $249, and then we have Monopoly. Okay, let me explain what these two do, and then I'll move to the final step. Now, here's what Unleashed and Monopoly is all about. Unleashed is about basically tapping into some tricks to increase your profit margins even more. And in fact, here's what you get to do. Let me give you an example. Let's say that there's a source which is selling a keyboard for $99. Okay, let's say there's a source out there that's selling a keyboard for $99. How can we beat their price? Okay, usually you might not be able to beat the price. Let's say that's the cheapest price that's available out there. But here's what you can do with a couple of the things that you can learn in Unleashed. What you get to do is you get to undercut the same source. Okay, so let's say there's a guy who's selling this. Let's say this this site, we call it X, is selling it for $100. We're gonna go out. We're gonna list the product, the same keyboard. We're gonna list it for, let's say, $95. Okay, so it's cheaper than X. But you know what we're gonna be able to do? We'll actually be using X to supply the product too. So even though it costs more here, in the end, we're going to make more money because of a couple of tricks where we get some cash back from these places. We're going to get some bonus money back. We're going to be able to add more things in there. All of those things combined, we're actually going to still make a profit, even though we're selling it at a lower price than the source itself. Okay, so that's what Unleash is about. And then finally, we move on to Monopoly, which is where now we're going to establish a true dominance in this marketplace. And what we're going to do for the true domination in this marketplace is we're now going to be able to start selling on Amazon itself. We can drop ship stuff from different places, but we're actually going to begin sourcing products directly from locations where they're directly coming in from manufacturers. They're directly coming in from China. They're directly coming from all these places. They come into the US, they come into a warehouse, and we are the ones who are going to directly be the ones selling them on Amazon and so on. Now, this is a totally different ball game, and the reason it's so a totally different ball game, and Roger can shed a little more light on this too. The reason this is so important is, as you all can guess, there are a lot of other sellers on eBay. Okay, but there are not as many sellers on Amazon. In fact, the reason for that is that Amazon has very strict standards on whom they will allow to sell. You actually have to apply for UPC codes. You have to have certain codes available to you for you to be able to go out there and you to be able to sell stuff on Amazon. It's very difficult compared to the standard eBay guy. You can just go on eBay and post stuff. So what we've done is we've actually gone through, we've figured out exactly how to get everybody in DS Domination equipped to be able to sell on Amazon. You'll be able to go there and you'll be able to list stuff. And actually, you know what? I'm going to shift this over to Roger and he can show you a couple of the things on Amazon and how much money you can make just by using what was it, the Furminator. You can use pet supplies. You can do all this kind of stuff and make 6 figures off of Amazon alone. And then I'm going to show you specifically what we're going to do in step 3, in phase 3, to automate this and set up a whole massive separate income. Okay, so Roger, I'm going to throw this over to you. If you want to go ahead and show a little bit of how exactly in Monopoly, now we're establishing true dominance on the whole market, and we're going to be able to sell stuff on Amazon itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. You know, you've worked your way up here, and this is where massive income starts rolling in. I'm just on Amazon.com, of course. I'll type in massage chair for an example. And when you come over here and you start looking at the massage chairs on here, they're $200, like the one you're looking for. This is like a professional masseuse thing or something silly. But a massage chair you might be looking for is $200, $143, $899, $69. And we have suppliers that are going to be about $69, okay? So when you come over here, it's not even close to competition. Now, recognize on eBay, there's some competition, but with our titling skills and everything else, you're going to be able to make money on eBay. Here, there's not even a necessity to out-title people because there's so few sellers and there's so much a variety of product. You come over here and just list it and get it up and crush it over here. And eBay's about putting up a lot of items, putting 4 minutes work into putting up an item and making $5, $10, $15, $20 in that 4 minutes worth of work. Over here, it's about coming over and typing a massage chair, putting one up where you're lower than everybody else and selling dozens of them a week. Okay, you could literally make an incredible income with about 20 right products up here. I'll give you a quick example of a friend of mine, what he did. And I showed some of his sales on a video I did back. I don't have it right now in front of me, but this is a de-shedding tool for your dog, okay? And you know, it's got a blade here, and you rub it along your dog, and it de-sheds, whatever. Nothing you would ever think of, all right? And he was able to get these out of overseas for, I think it was out of China, for $3 to $5, okay? And he brought them in, and he must have sold $100,000 worth, okay? Because such a huge demand. I mean, when you look at the feedback, probably 1% to 2% of people leave feedback when they buy something. So you could add a couple zeros on to how many of these de-shedding tools. So this guy comes along, he puts them up for $14, $15, and he sold out of them. He's since moved on with other product that I can't show you out of respect for him. But this is the amount of money that can be made over here on Amazon. That's all about monopoly and the lack of competition over here, the lack of buyers with better intent and overall more traffic. And that's what monopoly is all about. Just like the word says, we're monopolizing Amazon. We relatively have no competition. Back to you, Hitesh.
Awesome. Well, let me take the screen over so I can show this. All right. So here we are back at everything. So far, you have complete dominance at this point. You're understanding everything that you're doing. You're making a bunch of money. The only two problems, like I said before, are one, that you're kind of tied in some ways to this business because somebody has to be there to answer the emails, to answer the support, take care of the customers, and so on and so forth. It's not that true level of freedom that we were talking about that people sell you on. And then at the same time, the only other thing is that it is work. It is a business. And even though it's a very profitable business and everybody should be super excited at this point, it is still work. So what we did is we added one more thing to this to get you to that point where it's completely free, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. What we did is that we added an affiliate program that costs $9.95 a month, okay? Now what this does is that it gives you access to all of our internal resources, and we will automatically, on your behalf, promote and make DS Domination into a product that you're going to earn commissions on. Okay. And what we do is we like to call this, we pay out 175% commissions on it. So what happens with this, and this is why it's so unique and why it's doing so well, is not only do you get to keep all the money you're making in phase 1 and 2 with all the stuff that DS Domination has, on top of that, you get additional 75% commissions when anybody comes in and they purchase DS Domination either through your link or when we actually advertise it on your behalf. Okay, I'm going to show you how we exactly do that as well. But let me first break this down and what that means. This means that when you've gone through these phases, which you're already making money from, and you're moving on to this stage, you are actually so far not doing any of the traditional things that you would usually lose money on. You're not doing traffic generation, you're not doing lead generation, you're not doing email marketing, none of that stuff. We are doing all of that on your behalf at this point as well. So you get to live the true freedom. So when somebody purchased DS Domination Pro for $19.95 a month, you get up to 75% commissions in that. When somebody purchases DS Domination Elite, you get up to 75% commissions in that, on Unleashed and Monopoly as well, and so on and so forth. And I explain exactly how that works. Now, what we do is what we came up with is the idea that the first thing to do is to get people in profitability, right? So we came out with a way to make DS Domination Pro virtually free for anybody who wants to use it, okay? So not only are you going to be able to get access to this for virtually at no cost, which I'm going to show you in 1 second, at the same time, you'll be able to earn commissions on it. And the way we pay out is 50% commissions on level 1. So that means that if you get 2 sales for DS Domination Pro, that covers your own cost for DS Domination Pro as well, okay? But since we are going to show you how to make that free, and you're making money from eBay, you're again, right off the bat, in profits. The same thing is going to happen with Elite, with Unleashed, and Monopoly. Now, let me go ahead and show you how we made this virtually free for you, okay? So when you log into DS Domination, in your members area, we're going to have Pro, and you're going to see all this training, and we actually have supply live training as well. So every week we have live training with all of our Pro users. We have live training with all of our Elite users. And then, of course, there's all the stuff in Unleashed. There's all the stuff in Monopoly. But what we did is we actually came up with this concept of cash out offers. What we did is we went out and we partnered up with all of these different CPA offers and all these different companies that basically agreed to pay money to our users, okay? So somebody can come in here and they can say, oh, I can go ahead and apply for a Discover card and get 49 dominance, which is just our take. That's just our virtual currency. It basically is $1 each. So $45. So when you come in to DS Domination for the first time, you can get and finish an offer, get $45, which covers your cost for months on DS Domination Pro. You can come in and do the same thing with all these different options that are in here. As you can see, we have tons of them. You can just do some surveys. You can fill out some offers. And this, we actually know of a lot of users who have been doing this. You come in here, you fill these out, and within your first 15 minutes, within your first half an hour in DS Domination, you've already made your money back. You've actually already gotten into profits within your first few minutes into using DS Domination.
Wow.
So when we move on to eBay, that's just icing on the cake. When we move on to eBay, we're actually now already making money and we're in further profits. And then when we finally move on to the affiliate sides of things, and we start making residual income off of DS Domination as a whole, now that's approaching the true freedom that we were talking about. Now you have income coming from eBay, from many different marketplaces as well, from Amazon and different product sources there. You have income coming from cash out offers, and you have an affiliate income coming in as well. And here's how we decide to completely automate your affiliate income on top of everything else. Because you know what, if you're not good at marketing and you don't want to build opt-in pages and squeeze pages and drive traffic and email market and all that stuff, you don't have to, okay? So what we did is that we came up with the concept of the market extreme system. Now what this does is when you're doing all of this stuff, you're just going to go in here and you're going to say very nonchalantly, you're going to say, okay, my username, my affiliate ID is this. Here is, I want to build a list in Aweber, or I want to build a list in GetResponse. You can select from different opt-in pages. You can choose to rotate them. And you're just going to enter a comment. You're going to say, my first test, or whatever you would like. You can create a leads generator, which I'll just do right now. And here we go. Now, whenever you drive traffic to this page, it's going to build your email marketing list. We are going to follow up with people on your behalf. You don't have to. We are going to actually bring them to live webinars, close the sale on your behalf, all of that will be just credited to you, and you don't have to do that. But this isn't a case of where you're driving traffic to your pages yourself, which is great for marketers. There's some really awesome marketers on this call. But what about those of us who either don't have the experience and the expertise, or we just don't care to? We just don't want to generate traffic like that. What you can do is just go to get leads, and you can just, instead of doing this all yourself, you can just say, I would like to get 500 leads. And you would do the exact same thing as before. You'd select get response or Aweber. You would enter your list name. Let's say in Aweber, your list name is DS Domination Rocks. And then you say, you know what, I want to generate, let's say 100 leads. That's it. Just go ahead and submit that. And now we will basically go out, drive the traffic on your behalf, build your list for you, follow up with the people, close the sale on your behalf, and you are doing nothing but just focused on your eBay business. So you are making money on eBay while we are doing all of this on your behalf and generating a massive additional residual income for you. Now, at this point, you might be wondering, well, how much can I really make with that? What is exactly the scale on that? And the scale on that is really hard to just put into words, because we have people on this call right now who just made more than $1,000 today on complete autopilot with this. And the reason why that's so good, and the reason why it's working so well for all these people, is because of 3 factors that our affiliate program has built in, which other companies usually don't have. And if you decide today, let's say that at the end of this webinar, you're like, you know, all of that was awesome stuff, but I don't know if I want to do that. I just don't like Hitesh's accent. He talks way too much. He talks too excited. I don't want to work with these guys. That's fine. Just remember this blueprint. This is the blueprint you have to follow. And remember this criteria. The criteria should be that an affiliate program should be self-sustained, have organic demand, and it should be leverageable. Okay? If it doesn't have these 3 things in it, the affiliate program is eventually going to fail, or that funnel is eventually going to fail for you. And this is the reason that most of the companies out there fail. It's not just a case of you didn't work hard enough, or you just didn't have the right marketing to go for you. It's literally that the system doesn't work in cases where these 3 conditions are not met. Let me explain what these 3 conditions are. A self-sustained affiliate program means that the affiliate program must offer something of demand. It must find a way to offset the cost for the average customer. Otherwise, that customer is going to eventually drop out, and you won't have residual income anymore. So let me show you how that works and why this is so very important. So here is a traditional company. And here is the whole game that a traditional company plays with people. And this is why everybody says, in the end, the only one who makes money is the company. Okay, let's say that this is a company, and let's say this company sells some consumable product. Okay, let's say they sell some lotions, or they sell some juices, or they sell some coffee. Whatever they want to sell, they can sell. And then you have over here the affiliates. Okay, and then on this side, you have the customers. Now, what happens is that the affiliate has a very, very difficult job to do. The affiliate has to convince the customer. He has to go out and do the advertising and the marketing, and he has to convince the customer to give some of his money to the company, and then the company will give some of that money to the affiliate. Okay, now let me draw this over here. The customer is going to give some green dollars to the company. The company is going to give some light green dollars to the affiliate. Okay, it's light green because the company gets to keep a bunch of that money, right? So the affiliate doesn't make as much of the money as the customer spends. Now, here's what happens in the long run in almost every one of these scenarios. And you all have experienced this, and you all know this. The customer is eventually going to realize that he is taking a loss every month, because they're not in this for the product most of the time. They're in there for the opportunity of it. So they're going to say, you know what, I'm losing all this money. I'm not making enough money. So eventually the customer is going to drop out. So what happens is the customer is going to look at his red dollar cost, and there's a very simple formula that automatically works in the head of every customer, even if they're horrible at math. The formula goes like this. If my red dollar is greater than my green dollar, then I quit. That's basically the formula that goes on in the head. And because of this, you're going to find all these customers start dropping out, and eventually the affiliate's income starts going down over time, and the affiliate loses his income. Okay, that's what happens in all of these companies. They all collapse from the down up. And when you come to even organic affiliate programs where you're just promoting some other product, it's not self-sustained. It's not residual income. You have to keep finding new customers at all the time, but you have to bear the cost of marketing. That is not going to work in the long run. Okay, so what happens in DS Domination's case is very, very different. What happens is that the customer has a red dollar cost, but the customer himself has green dollars coming in from eBay, Amazon, and all of the other things that they're going to be doing in phase 1 and 2. That's why we emphasize going with phase 1 and 2. In fact, the customer is going to make his money back in the first 15 minutes using the cash out offers. So the customer says, my green dollar is greater than my red dollar. I'm going to stick around. The company says, hey, this is awesome. Let's give the affiliate even more green dollars because we know that we are going to have retention in our company. And eventually the affiliate makes a lot more money because of that. Okay, now I don't care if you're going to say, I don't want to promote DS Domination. That's fine. But this is a basic requirement that you need to look for in any company that you decide to promote or any product that you decide to promote as an affiliate. The exchange between the customer and the company must be one in which the customer feels that he is getting more than his dollar's worth. Otherwise, the customers will drop out and you're back to square one with a $0 income trying to get more people in. Again, this is why a lot of people fail because they don't start at phase 1. They start at this phase 3. They do all the marketing, they spend all the money in it. Eventually, they get discouraged because they don't get the lasting results. The second thing is there should be organic demand. There should not be manufactured demand. And you know of this all the time. You find all of these companies, you find all of these affiliate products, which are basically PLR products or their libraries or their vacation vouchers or something like that. Nobody's out there looking for them. They're being sold purely to cover for an affiliate opportunity. If you don't have an organic demand in your particular industry, it's not going to work. It's not going to last in the long run. And again, as an affiliate, that's going to hurt you. The final thing is that you should have leverage. The leverage means that you're not dependent just on your own performance over time. Over time, you should be able to generate an income from a lot of other people's work, from companies' promotions, and you should be able to step back, let go, and let it run on autopilot while you're generating an income. Okay. So again, these are the 3 conditions that need to be met for a successful affiliate program. Now, in DS Domination's case, you're getting all 3 conditions met. We have a 10-tier affiliate program, which means that you actually get commissions on 10 tiers. So when you refer a direct sale, you get commissions on that. When they refer a sale, you get commissions on that, all the way down 10 levels deep. So there's this massive viral growth happens very organically and very naturally in this. And it basically explodes. And that's actually why we're pretty much the fastest growing company there is today in this whole scene, because the customers are making money, the affiliates are making money. The company might not make money, but we don't care about that because that's just an Indian guy with an accent. But everybody is basically making money and everybody is happy. And everybody is seeing an awesome amount of success coming in. So this is the trajectory. This is the blueprint that you kind of need to follow if you are somebody who is in this situation. You start at phase 1, start with the stuff that Roger was showing us. With all of the eBay stuff, start generating some very simple income, get into DS Domination, you start using the cash out offers, and basically get going with that. Phase 2, you're going to use your profits from phase 1. You're going to go to Elite, Unleash, and Monopoly. You're going to start making massive income from this. You're going to start making at least multiple 5 figures, if not 6 figures on this. And then you're going to move on to phase 3 and start basically generating a hands-free residual income using the affiliate program and the Market Extreme program. Now, some of you on this call, some of you on this webinar right now are going to say, well, you know, I don't really need to start here. I have a bunch of money right now. I would much rather start here. That's fine. Well and good. Some of you might say, I've actually sold on eBay before, so I can start with phase 2. Well and good. You can do that. Some of the other ones on here are going to be like, I don't even want the eBay income. I just want to start here. I'm a marketer. I understand this. You can start there. The choice is entirely yours, but this is the general trajectory that you need to follow if you are somebody who's just starting out with your online income, and if you've not generated income as of yet online. Okay. So this is the whole idea, the whole concept behind how we have done this. Roger has done this. I have done this. Kevin has done this. We've all followed this exact same process to get to the stage where we are generating income from multiple sources, where we have all of these things running on autopilot. I didn't do this with eBay. I actually did this with building niche websites, which isn't really that easy for the average person to do at this point. So I'm not really going to go into that right now. But this is the blueprint behind it. Okay. Now, at this point, if you have already been doing this and you have already been getting some results, would you be so kind to tell us exactly what kind of results you've been getting so far with everything that you've been doing with phase 1, phase 2, with your eBay stuff, with your affiliate programs, whatever you've been doing? If you can share your results in the chat box, that would be awesome. Here we go. All right, what I'm going to do is, as these results start coming in, I'm going to take a screenshot and I'm going to show you guys this live, exactly what people are saying on the webinar, because this is another reason why most of the companies out there, most of the people out there never share live results like this. They never show you the screenshots of what's going on because they can't show these results. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and copy paste this in here, and you can see these. Actually, there's a whole lot more coming in right now. But here we go. Made $30 profit last weekend, 10 sales in 2 days, 1,000 in sales in less than 3 weeks. Sold my first item today on Amazon, 7 sales so far, 10 items sold, 13 sales in 10 days, 10 sales in 1 week. Again, all of these people are making money without doing any of the traditional stuff that most people are doing. Actually, there's a whole lot more coming in as well. I'm going to take another screenshot and show you guys more of the results that are coming in right now. 5 sales in September, I've profited $205 so far. Here, I'm going to take this. And here are more of these coming in. Made my first sale yesterday. My official title on September 20th. That means that Diana has sold enough that they are actually lifting her limits. They're actually raising her limits on eBay, so she can she can sell a whole lot more now.
I gotta hop on.
Including the sponsoring.
I gotta hop on. You know, there's the one I'm looking for. Gordon Boyd, congratulations. You know, I did eBay and eBay training prior to this launch of this amazing program, and I have several internal stories that I get to keep in my mind of people not having to work anymore, and these are rolling across. And while it's just confidence for you now. You saw the money, and as you get, it'll probably take you about 3 weeks to understand that this is going to go on forever and ever and ever. And you know, my family comes from a long line of teachers, and you will not have to pick up that 6 a.m. surprise call anymore. So congratulations, Gordon.
This is insane. There's a whole lot more coming in as well. I'm not going to keep posting everything because I think everybody gets the general idea of what we're trying to get at here. The point here is that the only reason that somebody would fail with this is your desire to succeed or not. That's literally all there is to it. And I actually have a really good story to go with that. Now, as some of you might be able to tell, I was born in Iowa, and no, I'm kidding. As some of you can tell, English is not my first language, and I did not grow up very wealthy, although I never honestly felt like that growing up. Okay, and I'll be very honest. I grew up within 5 minutes of 3 slums in New Delhi in India. I came here to study in the US, and I've honestly never felt to myself, oh, poor me, if I had better life, if I grew up in the US, I would be making so much more money. Because I would see people here who would make more money babysitting at 14 and 12 than my dad did, working like 12-hour days.
Wow.
But what I saw from that was I saw the opportunity behind it. To me, the point was there is an awesome amount of opportunity that exists out there if you're willing to actually go and pursue it. And I see this in the help desk all the time, because when we look at the support questions, you know, we are in there answering all of this. And literally within 2 minutes of each other, I came across 2 support tickets. One was a guy who basically wrote in and he said, I just spent 2.5 hours looking for a product to sell. I couldn't find a single product to sell on Amazon, which was priced lower than eBay. I don't think I can do this. This is ridiculous. Please cancel, and so on and so forth, which we were like, fine, okay. But within 2 minutes of that was another ticket. And this guy said, you know, I've been in here for 4.5 days. I just found the first product. I took a long time just watching the videos over and over. I just made my first sale today. I'm so excited. I made my first $3.50 online. Totally different attitudes. Okay, that one guy that I'm referring to, I don't think he's on this webinar right now, but he's actually written back since, and he crossed $1,000 in sales. Okay, from eBay alone. Now, there is a difference of attitude there, and you guys have to be the ones who take action on that. None of us except Kevin grew up really wealthy. Now, Kevin isn't here, so I can make all sorts of jokes about him. But the point is, we all have to, in the end, take our own decisions in our own hands, and we have to actually pursue this. What we've done on this webinar is, and I'll tell you this very honestly, 8 years ago, I had almost nothing. I had no money whatsoever. And if I saw this webinar, even if I could not afford to get into DS Domination myself, I would have gone to eBay right now. I've seen enough. I would have tried to do this myself, try to get enough money, try to make enough sales to get 1995 in profit so I could get the full training, so I could learn about titling, so I could start scaling up and start from phase one. That's what I would have done. I just know that for a fact. And that's what you have the option to do right now. We are not sitting here saying, hey, guys, look at all the money that we have made. You know, we were homeless and now we're so rich and blah, blah, blah. Look at my house here and look at my pool and look at this. That's not what we're doing here. And we're not saying, give us $5,000, $6,000 and we will show you the secrets to this. There are no secrets to it. All the secrets there are, I just listed them out for you. There is no other secret, hidden, special thing to this. It's all common sense. It's all about following a blueprint that works. It's all about you guys saying, okay, I understand the whole concept. I understand the blueprint. I'm going to go out. I'm going to take some action at this. What is the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is that you could list some things on eBay and they don't sell. And then you're going to write in and you're going to say, hey, I listed 12 things and I have seen no interest from them whatsoever. Can you tell me what's going on? And we will help you with that. But at this point, I don't understand why somebody would not join. So if you could think of any reason why you would not do this, why you would not follow this blueprint of 3 phases, why you would not do DS Domination, what would it be? Do you have any reasons whatsoever that you would not do this?
We're going to be here all night. While you guys load up those reasons, if one comes across.
We have one reason.
Okay.
There's only one reason that has come in, which is you don't like money.
Okay.
So
okay.
That's
Money's
the only
evil.
one.
Before we get to any questions, Hitesh, I know we're going on about 10, 11 Eastern. There's some people on here that are shouting, can I just get started? Can I just get started? And we wanted to hold back the link because we wanted you guys to see everything. We don't want the help desk question rolling across anymore that says, I spent 25 minutes and I'm not a millionaire. So we wanted full exposure if we pop that up. Can we put up the link and then move over to Q&A, Hitesh?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and put it on nice big clean screen.
And that help desk I just mentioned, we're in there. I was actually talking to Hitesh last night, and he said, we're knocking through 3,000 members, and the help desk is like a ghost town over there sometimes because it's very methodical. You actually watch my computer screen as I go through the training and just follow it. So there's not a ton of questions over there, but I kind of like going over there and meeting. The best part of the help desk actually is meeting people all over the world and helping out and stuff like that. So there is massive full support in here as well, which I love, which belays any other program out there. We have extreme support. The only thing that frustrates me is we have what's called a category changer, an industry changer, something completely different, but because all of these other fake companies have overutilized those words, we can't even say it. So finally it's come along, a category changer, and we're not even allowed to, we're not even going to use those words, even though this is so different because of that cost offset model that Hitesh showed where the customer actually wins in the red dollar sign, the green dollar sign. So excited about that. And he's putting up the, we're going to go to Q&A here in a moment, but he's putting up where you guys can get started because I saw a bunch of folks come in going, enough, I get it. And what a great, going back to the person that it was a disaster that they spent some time, and that's not typical taking that amount of time. It's very easy. It's more of a confidence thing. Think about what you've done and how old you are at this point in your life. And I don't know who's on this call. There could be 18-year-olds, 90-year-olds. And what have you done, or what do you have coming up the rest of this year that's going to get you out of that job or get you home to that family? Are you going into work tomorrow and they're going to say, you know what, you got to get home with your family. We're just going to pay you money for fun. We're going to give you reasons. It's not going to happen, right? And it's not going to happen this year, next year, next year, next year. It hasn't happened your previous 10, 20, 30, 40 years, okay? So for me, when I look at this and take it all in, I get rejuvenated every time I see a webinar like this, even watching Teshko, is this is really one of very few legitimate shots in existence that I know of to legitimately retire in short order and fast track that going into the last few months of 2013.
Absolutely. And there's actually something very timely about this too. What's coming up, guys, is the season when people are going to be spending the most money they can on Amazon, eBay, and so on. And that's like the best time for you guys to be really tapping into this as well. Let me walk everyone through the process really quick once of what sign up looks like. When you go to this link, you're going to end up on a page like this. Now, when you were initially invited to this webinar by the person who invited you to the webinar, you were cookied to them, okay? So what you'll see is you will see the name and the information of the person who referred you to DS Domination to this webinar right down here. Now, there is an odd chance that somebody invited you and you were on one computer, but you're attending on a different computer and so on and so forth. In that case, it's going to tell you that there is not a valid username assigned to you. There's not a valid referrer assigned to you. In that case, please contact the person whose email you saw or the person who invited you to this webinar. Contact them so you can actually be working with them. You can be placed with them. And that's very, very important to us. It's very important to the integrity of the whole system. But make sure that you do that. But for most of you, you should be able to see right here who referred you, what the referrer name is. When you sign up, you'll be able to get their information again in your members area. You can contact them and work with them if you have any more questions. But this is as simple as it gets. There's really nothing complex about it. I feel like I want to like walk you through the process of it, but there's nothing to walk you through. It's actually very, very straightforward.
And you're so covered in here. When I'm talking about looking over my shoulder or looking at the videos are about 4 minutes long. You know how to open an eBay account, how to open an eBay account if you're not in the U.S., how to list your first item, how to process a return, how to answer this. And they're 4 or 5 minutes long. They're all clearly labeled. And I noticed when Hitesh was showing the marketing extreme pack, when you get to that end point and turn it way up there and automate everything, he said the word AWeber and list building and things like that. A lot of new folks won't understand that. But we have that covered because we have the training on what an AWeber account is or how to create a list, all in there.
I really should have shown you guys this too. We did not stop at the list either. We actually have a whole massive library of training in here, which most companies don't even have as their main product, okay? And we just have this in addition as a supplement to you to help you market. But we give you ad examples, we give you case studies, we show you different sources of traffic, we show you how to do Facebook PPC, we show you how to do video stuff, we show you everything that's on here. We are actually also giving you actual ads and stuff that we're using. We're going to be giving you all. I mean, we are not stopping with this. Every single time that you log in, know that we are constantly adding more and more to this. We have actually changed videos. We've added videos probably 7 or 10 times just in the past 15, 20 days. And that's just how good this is. And you know what? Let me give you guys this. Let me brag a little bit about the members that we have in here right now. DS Domination as a company has generated I'm pretty sure about $300,000 so far. We've been live. We've been out of our pre-launch. We've been live for 2 weeks now. We went live on 1st of September, and we had a very short pre-launch of only 7 days before then. Okay. As a company, we are doing that. But what's more important to me is the fact that if you started adding up all the money that our members are making on eBay, all the sales that they're making on eBay, that sales revenue probably exceeds that 300,000 by a lot. That's how much actual success our members are having. And that's very, very important when I look at this, because to me, it means, yes, this cost offset model that I was talking about right here, where the customer's green dollar is much greater than the red dollar, that's working. That's very, very successful right now. if you guys have been involved in this industry at all, you know that you kind of expect like a refund rate of 10% and a cancellation rate of like 30, 40, 50% even. We are nowhere close to that. We are not, I mean, we are not even in the double digits for anything. So it's a huge difference, because this is one of the only times where the average person actually has the ability to do this stuff and actually get ahead. And the beautiful part about this is the thing that's most important to me. Okay, uh, part of because of how I grew up, looking at the governmental systems and looking at how the societal systems and such, it's very important to me that there are no external factors that can dictate how I live my life. That's very, very important to me. If I want to provide a certain life for myself and my family, I should be able to do that without some external factor coming in and defining that for me. I absolutely hate that about a lot of the standard things that are going on. There's a lot of people out there today who have been hurt through no fault of their own. The inflation wasn't their fault. They were savers, they were hard workers, but all of this nonsense that's going on out there, that still hurts them. And I saw a glimpse of this. I'll tell you guys a very fun story. And this is fun now to talk about it, but it was very disheartening back when this happened. So the university that I went to as a student, I was studying biotechnology and with an emphasis in genetics. Okay. Now, what happened there is that I had a very small scholarship, despite having the second highest SAT scores, and despite my accent, I mean, my English is pretty good. So I had very high SAT scores, and I had very high scores, and I was on the dean's list and all that good stuff. I had only one small scholarship that didn't even come close to covering the cost of my tuition, and I paid 3 times as much for out-of-state tuition. So what happened is that I actually went to some people in my department, and I told them, hey, listen, I have this whole plan. What we're going to do is give me a little more scholarship instead of paying me, but I will help design a bioreactor. We're going to build that where the food that goes to waste right now from the diners in the university, there were 2 massive diners, all of that food waste is going to go in there. We're going to process that. We're going to use that to produce some electricity, which we'll use to power one wing of some of the dorms that we have. And we will then sell the slurry is what's the leftover, as fertilizer to local farmers. This was in Iowa. Now, that's brilliant. Would have saved the university thousands upon thousands of dollars. They would have gotten all sorts of stuff, so much interest from the press and whatnot. And in the end, the people were super excited about it. They ended up not doing it. You know why? Because they get a fixed quota of money from the government to spend towards art projects. So they had to spend $110,000 on an art project, which was a modern art piece. I believe it was called Lock and Key. And it's made of tin, and it sits in front of the business building, and it's just ridiculous to look at. And it was so disheartening when that happened, because I could not figure out why the stupidity of some other person was affecting me like in that moment. It just bothered me very, very deeply. And what will happen is, some of you have seen that, where the stupidity of the company that you're working with, that you're promoting, ends up hurting you very deeply. That happens to a lot of people. Or the stupidity of the decisions being made by the business you are involved in, or whatever it is, or the government, that's more common than most, ends up hurting you. This is like one of those things where there is nobody who can affect you. There's no external factor that can really affect you and really shut you down, especially when you are past the second phase, because you control all of these things. And that's what that whole list building is about. That's where I was going with this whole thing, actually. The whole point behind that list that we're having you build, that we're helping you build the list as well. Let's say that tomorrow something happens and DS Domination no longer exists. Okay? You are going to still be building through this process in Market Extreme. When we advertise on your behalf and we build your list, you're going to have a massive list built for yourself. Okay? Now, this list is people, this is prospects or customers who are actually on your list, and they are tagged to you. Their loyalty is more to you than to somebody else. It's not necessarily to the company called DS Domination, it's more to you as a person. What you can do is, this is your Kickstarter. You can take this, you can go into any other affiliate program, you can launch your own product if you want, and you can immediately start generating a full-time income just from that. To give you a rough estimate, usually a rough estimate that people talk about is that you should be able to make about 50 cents to $1 per person on your list, okay, per month per person on the list. So if you have a 5,000 people list, you should be able to make $2,500 to $5,000 a month just from that list. Now, the way that we teach it, and specifically I will be holding some trainings with Market Extreme members on this, the way that I've gone about it, my dollar per person per month is more like $3.50. I promote very rarely. When I do promote something, I promote something of great value. It just works over long term. And that's one of our goals here. We want to establish you as an individual person, as an individual business owner, and that nobody else can affect at all times. And yes, there are still factors out there. Yes, there are things out there that will still affect you. I mean, tomorrow, if the currency collapses or something, there's nothing that anyone can do about that. But my point is that this takes you as close to true freedom as possible. You have a list that you're building on autopilot. You have residual income happening on autopilot. You have viral growth in your income on autopilot. You have eBay and Amazon happening on autopilot. They are the ones who are spending all the money figuring out how to make the products cheaper, figuring out how to make the products easier to purchase. They are the ones who are figuring out how to acquire more customers for their platform, and you are simply piggybacking off of them in those cases as well. So I don't know of any system that has ever even come close to doing all the stuff that we are doing and to establishing this in a way that it actually benefits the average user instead of the company itself or some secret affiliate that's involved. This is not about saying, oh, you're not a great person if you don't buy it. All my point is, this is so logical. This is so, forget that I was a member of DS Domination. This is so logical. This is what you should be doing. You're not buying this because Hitesh is a great salesperson. You're getting into this and you're doing this because you actually care about your future and you understand that this is the only way to get to it. So with that little spiel aside, that's the link again because I see people asking that in the questions. So there you go.
Wow. And yeah, I get fired up just listening to you. And, if you're an affiliate already, I hope this is empowering you to go out there and go harder. Not that you have to work hard in here, but this is life-changing stuff. And it's so hard to say words like that because they're so cliche, life-changing stuff. But you're going to have the stories that I get to internalize, and that gentleman that just hopped out here, and he's earning as much as he is a substitute teaching, and pretty soon he'll be earning more money than the local doctor, and then there will be nobody in this town that earns as much money. And that's just what will happen. So as affiliates, you can be so proud of this, and you can be so proud as organic growth continues to happen in DS. I would love if you can grab an Alexa shot for us.
Oh,
now,
yes.
If you're not familiar with Alexa, this is where you can't be fooled. This is a company that nobody on this webinar owns. It's just a standard on the internet of ranking sites and where they are in the world and where they are in the US. Now, if you put a site up together right now, whatever you did, it would probably be ranked 29 millionth. Okay, and it's based on traffic arriving at your site. And I saw somebody saying, wait a minute, this company is only 21 days old, or however old we are. Yes, as clean and as crisp and as fast as it's growing, nearly 3,000 people now, and an Alexa ranking, which is, I don't know if you can put some comparisons up there. I'll put a comparison up there, and by no means are we an MLM type of thing here. We're all about people making money, going through the process we just described. But go ahead and put Amway in there if you don't mind. Amway has been around since, I don't know, well before I was born, worldwide, everything else. And they're ranked 2380, and we're ranked 2800th in the United States. Okay, that should show you, and we're 20-something days old. That's the amount of traffic that's coming to our site and getting involved in DS Domination. They're seeing this movement, and their opportunity is no longer get the stock that their uncle told them about. Their opportunity is no longer buy real estate and flip the homes. It's not happening. The market's supposed to be coming back in real estate, but who wants to go down that path for the retirement where 401ks are now 0.41ks? So here's a real opportunity for you guys, and there's Amway right there, ranked 2380th versus us. We're going to catch them in the next couple weeks and go beyond it. Our goal is to, I don't know, rank number one, whatever it takes, and that's where we're moving. Hitesh, talk more about that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me actually explain a couple of things as well, because while we are talking about things like this company is 3 weeks old, let me clarify something. DS Domination as a company is 3 weeks old. However, the eBay training, the phase 1 and 2 training that we just talked about, that has actually existed for about a year and a half. Okay, so for a year and a half, we've been doing this. And actually, earlier this year is when I was one of the affiliates for what it used to be. And we got about $45,000 worth of sales in a week for that. People were so excited. One of the only times when I actually promoted something and people wrote back and they said, this is amazing. I'm actually making money. This is great. This is very, very exciting. And of course, there were some problems. There were people who were like, oh, I don't like this part. I don't like that part. I took a lot of that feedback to Kevin and Roger. We took a lot of the good stuff from that. We expanded on that. We worked out a lot of other things. We brought in a lot of my marketing stuff in there. We added everything up, and we basically made it what it is now in form of DS Domination. And it has just entirely exploded out the gate. And most of this is unplanned growth, to be very honest. We did not launch marketing systems yet. We did not launch Market Extreme, for example, yet. We did not actually start doing our own traffic generation. We didn't even get a chance to mail our own lists. And we're already at 3,000 some paid members. So that's how well this is growing, and it's purely word of mouth. It's purely from people watching webinars like this, or them saying, you know what, I actually understand what these guys are saying. These guys are not out to gyp me. They're not trying to just take my money and get me in some weird coaching thing or some weird whatever thing. That's not what's going on here. This is all legitimate, logical stuff. Now, with all that, let me show you guys one very important thing. Alexa shows you a 3-month average of what things are like. Okay. Now, since we've been out for only 3.5 weeks, we don't have a 3-month history that Alexa can rely on. Okay. So I'm actually just going to show you in the graph itself. In the past 2 years that this is showing us over here, basically Amway has peaked around 4,500 in Alexa ranking. They're currently, if you look at it right here, they're currently around 12,000, 13,000. Okay, that's where they are right now. We have been around the roughly 6,000 to 8,000 range since we came out. Now, we are actually about to kick in all of our marketing. So this is actually going to shoot up probably well into the 1,000 range or so for the global ranking. This is the global ranking, not the US ranking. Now, all of this aside, we can all get into little matches of who is getting the highest ranks and who is ahead and who is behind and all that stuff. What's more important to me, though, is how many people do you know from Amway who were profitable their first day? How many of them were profitable their second day, their third day, their fourth day? And how many of them scaled up their business without any out-of-pocket expenses? And how many of them did not feel icky when they went out to their friends and family saying, hey, you need to buy this stuff? That's not what this is about. And even though, yeah, we are beating them out in everything else, that's not what I want to compare ourselves to, because our idea is so different. Our model is so different. Because we are not as much about how many people we get. It's more about what kind of success we get for those people. And tell me very honestly, how many of you feel excited going on Facebook and posting, hey, I just tried out this coffee. It's the best coffee ever. You guys should buy it from me for twice the price at your grocery store or become a distributor. How many of you would actually like to do that? I don't think anybody really wants to do that. Okay, it's the same thing over here. It's the opposite over here. How many of you are going to go out there when you have sold a griddle on eBay? How many of you will feel icky about ever saying, "Woohoo! Just sold a griddle"? You're not going to be upset about that. You're not going to feel bad about that. And guess what? Your friends or family or anybody else who might read that, they're not going to think, "Oh, what a loser! He's trying to sell me this supplement that I don't need." They're going to think this is exciting. And you know what? Here's a funny thing. Every one of us knows somebody who's already selling on eBay. Somebody that you have known, some family friend or some son of a friend or somebody kid who's in college, they are selling something on eBay. And nobody feels like you're selling to them or they're doing anything about them. They feel like, oh, this is exciting. Can you tell me how you're selling on eBay? And here's what you tell them. You don't say, go buy a $5,000 inventory and he will tell you how with this pamphlet. You say, yeah, this is how I'm doing it. And you show them this webinar or you show them yourself what you're doing. We don't hide anything here. There's no secret knowledge here. And then you say, if you really want to scale this up and see exactly how to do it, it's $20. It's not a horrible thing to try and throw to people and all that stuff. So I guess just my experience myself in the MLM side of things has been very limited because of these reasons. I've just always felt somewhat icky about sticking to a single product or getting trapped in the wrong funnel. Like I said here, you can get trapped in the wrong funnel. And when you don't have this kind of a structure going on, you just feel horrible about telling people, yeah, you should join and do something when you know yourself that 90% of those people are going to fail. And it's so exciting to me to report this, that out of all the members we have, I can very heartily estimate that 50 to 60% of the people have already made profits, and the rest of them have at least broken even, if not better. It's not the kind of statistic that you see with most companies out there. You just don't see that in most of the people out there. So that's, in fact, Karen just wrote in. Karen says she just processed $110 profit sale. So she just made $110 while she's here attending the webinar. And that's my point. There's this freedom where if you want to take time out and listen to bad jokes by an Indian on a webinar, you could do that and still be making money.
I guess someone's calling in sick tomorrow for work, $110 while on a webinar. That's fantastic, you know, and our excitement is how big we're going to go. We want armies of people switching the status quo and going with us to the moon with stuff like this. So real excited for Karen and other folks like that. I'm going to just breeze through some of the questions here really quick. And if you got some questions, and if you asked a question a long time ago, throw it back in there. They're in an order that most recent are there, and I don't want to answer them out of order. I'm glad you're here. Okay, all about Hitesh. All about him. The webinar in our back office. Yes, we're going to be uploading. A lot of people are asking about the whether this is recorded. Absolutely, and we'll be putting that in your back office for you. Okay.
Actually, you know, we're going to do a one better than that. Let me show you guys this, because this is one of the cool things about it. As a company, because we're actually run by marketers. Well, Roger isn't really a marketer. He's like a guy.
He is car salesman.
Yeah. Because we kind of marketers, there are things that we are able to do that actually most of the marketers don't even do. But what we're able to do is we're actually able to tag your affiliate ID to all of the recorded webinars as well. So if you are an affiliate, all you have to do is go to the affiliate back office, go to link and promo tools, and you're going to find your own affiliate links, not just for the sales page, but for the webinar recordings and for live webinars. So when you invite somebody to a live webinar, they're tagged to you. But also, when you share a pre-recorded webinar with them, they are going to actually be tagged to you as well. So just go into your members area and you'll be able to get the link to this webinar itself. So you'll be able to promote this webinar like a sales tool. And that's what we really suggest. I actually prefer webinars like this over sales videos, because webinars are so much more real. You guys get to understand what we're about much more than, and you get to see everything in detail, you know, instead of a 10-minute sales video, which is just about, look at all this fancy stuff.
Hitesh, I got a question that I think is very important to answer. I'm going to grab the presenter here and show you guys something. I had a question that said, how do you keep eBay from closing your account? This isn't tomfoolery or tricking eBay. This is eBay's website I'm on right here. This is one of their pages on here, and it's about drop shipping. Product sourcing, sometimes called drop shipping, is one way to sell items on eBay. Seller using a product sourcing service never handle the item. Instead, is directly shipped from the warehouse to the buyer. The seller collects the money from the buyer and pays the product sourcer. That benefits both the buyer and the seller by purchasing a bulk amount, et cetera, et cetera. So we're not, this isn't a trickster type move. This is legitimate. So eBay won't, it's not going to close your account for that. Awesome question, though. I'm just going through and kind of looking for themes. We got the replays and the recordings covered. A lot of people on here just celebrating how well they're doing. We take a question about the membership. We do credit cards, not PayPal, on that.
Okay, let me answer some of the other ones in here as well. Okay,
Sure.
We have two questions in here about product sources other than Amazon. Okay, we cover in great detail other sources other than Amazon. We cover them all in the Elite section. Okay, so if you have access to Elite, just go into the members area, go to your Elite training, and you'll find the other sources in there. In fact, if I can I take the screen back for a minute, Roger? And
Yeah,
then just show them?
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
let's just clean up.
Nobody wants to see your silly ladders and whatnot. If you go to elite training, in elite training, you'll be able to find very specifically the product sources, along with training on them. So if you're wondering how do I do it with this side and that side and so on, you'll be able to figure that out in there. Okay. Additionally, if you have more questions, this is something that I really want to hammer home with you guys. If you have questions about the process of it, if you say, you know what, I want to join this, but I'm worried about what if I can't figure this out or figure that out. Here's what you do. Go to your DS Domination Pro, go to live training. Okay. You will see that we give you a live link. You just go and register for this. Every 2 weeks, we do a live training with all of our pro members, and every 2 weeks, we do a live training with all of our elite members. Okay. So you will be able to come in there and you can ask all the questions you want. It's all live. We give away even more stuff in there that we are testing out and we're figuring out. So you guys don't have to worry about what's going to happen if I can't find stuff. Then, of course, on top of that, it's also all of the stuff over here with the additional over-the-shoulder videos. So here's what I would suggest. If you're wondering how exactly this one part works, go watch the training videos. It'll spell it out for you very clearly exactly how it works. And if you still have questions, go attend the live training. And if you still have questions, contact us on the support desk. Okay, we are very much about helping you guys get ahead and helping you guys succeed with this. Okay, so do that. There are quite a few people asking about when do we get access to Market Extreme. Okay, the Market Extreme has already been released on a limited basis to some of the bigger affiliates in the company already. People who have already been making sales, we released it. If you've already been making sales, you want access to it right now, send us a support contact. I'll get back to you with the Market Extreme, a very special link for you. On Thursday, we're going to release it company-wide, and then everybody can get in. Everybody can start participating in co-ops and all of that good stuff. But we've been testing it right now with all of our some of our leaders in here and some of the other people. So just go ahead and make a support ticket if you've already been making sales, because we only want right now marketers to be able to see that so they can kind of test it for us a little better too. Okay. And then we had a question about how does the affiliate program run? It says inactive for me. Okay, when you first log in to your members area, it's going to say affiliate status inactive. Okay, you're going to click on the inactive, and and then you'll pay the $9.95 a month. It'll make you active immediately, and you will be able to go in here and grab your links at that point. Okay, so it's very, very simple. It's very straightforward. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do any gymnastics about it. The other question is about how often do we get paid. Okay, here's how you're going to get paid. When you first make a sale, it instantly goes into your pending balance. Okay, the pending balance shows you when you've made a sale. You can look at it and figure out what your balance is right now. You can plan based on that. After 3 weeks, so the 4th week, because we have to give time for any refunds or any chargebacks or things like that to pass, which we haven't had hardly any so far. But once we've had the time to look through that, those automatically move to your approved balance on a daily basis. Okay, so on a daily basis, you will be able to take care of this. You'll be able to basically see the balance move from pending to approved. And because we're only 3 weeks old, 4 weeks haven't passed yet, that's why some of you aren't seeing this option. But you will go in here and you'll see a new option will appear here, which will say set up your iPayout. You're going to set that up, and then anytime you want, you can move the money out to your bank account. You can get a check for it. You can put it on a debit card or a Visa card, whatever you want to do. You can do all of that stuff with that as well. Okay, so all of those options are going to be there. They are available and already done, but it's just that we are new. We haven't actually hit the 4-week point yet. That's why you don't see that option. Okay, is the elite basically a huge time saver? No, it's not. And this is a very important point to clarify. Elite is not an upgrade to Pro. Okay, they are two very different things. Pro focuses primarily on Amazon to eBay, and it basically sets up all of the basis behind selling on eBay, all of the basis of buying from Amazon, all of the nuances of managing your PayPal account with them, all those things. We're going to move beyond that. We're going to move from just the Amazon and eBay. We're going to move to other marketplaces and other sources. So you'll be able to buy products from other places. You'll be able to sell products on more than just eBay as well. Okay, so they are different products. Don't think that it's an upgrade. It's not like you have Pro, so now you'll upgrade to Elite. It's you have Pro, you can keep doing that, and that training is still relevant to you, while you can also go and get Elite and start doing that, and that is also relevant to you. Okay, so they are separate products. Okay, can you only do cash offers from the country? Yes, the cashier offers are tied to your geographic location. So it figures out where you're from, and it does it based on that. Now, there are some people on here who were like, I'm in the U.S. military, so I'm traveling, I'm over here, I'm over there. How do I take care of that? If you are in an instant where you're like, I need to see the U.S. based options only, just send in a support ticket, and we can show you how to do that as well. Okay, you want to answer some more questions too, or should I run through everything?
I'll answer them if you can call them out. I don't see exactly where you are in the questions. I'll just keep surfing through and see yeses and celebrations of making money. And before I find the question, we'll all fall asleep.
All right. Okay. Well, let me explain. There's a lot of questions about Market Extreme. Let me explain Market Extreme a little bit more. Okay. So, like I explained over here, Market Extreme is not needed. Okay, $9.95 a month is what gets you the affiliate. Okay, and then the Market Extreme, some of you have already, like I said, already received access to this. And then when you're ready to move on to the next stage, you're like, you know what, I'm ready. Let's get all of this stuff going. Let me get all these tools. Then Market Extreme costs a one-time $199. Now this is very crucial that I explain this. If you go out there and you find companies that give you any offer to help you build your list, they're usually going to charge you a lot of money per month. Okay. There's, for example, some lead system out there. There's some other companies out there. And all of those companies, what they do is they basically package together a few marketing tools and some marketing training, and they say, oh, it's going to cost you this much dollars per month to use that. Okay, Market Extreme, what we try to do is we try to do two things. One is because we're giving it in phases, we are able to get only the people to that point who we know are serious about it. So we don't have this massive drain on the system. So when you're serious about it, you're an affiliate, you're ready to go, you go and you get Market Extreme. Now what that does is, one, it gives you training. Now this training is actually from two of our joint sources where we used to charge a combined of $90 a month. And you guys get this completely free in here. Okay, this is part of Market Extreme. You don't pay anything extra for all the training. It includes all the training on videos, video marketing, on Facebook PPC, on Craigslist marketing, on Q&A on stuff, on different ads that we have used, on solo ads. All of that stuff is included in here. This is a massive, massive library. This is a massive, massive resource. Use that really wisely. Let me show you what exactly this other stuff is about. Okay, let's say that when I first want to create a lead generator for myself, what I'm going to do is I can select any of these different templates, and I'm adding more of them in there. And you can put them on rotation as well. Let me show you one, for example, pizza or money. Now, this is based on Roger's life, the pizza or money one. So let's say that I put in a form ID of Roger's list. Okay, so this is, let's say Roger was building a list in the system, and the comment would be Roger's list with PPC. Now, here's why I'm doing that. Let me explain this. What I just did is that I received this link. Now, this is a special link for just this campaign. And you'll see that it tracks all of my campaigns down here, right? So over here, it shows me that I have a list being built with Aweber for Roger's list, and I'm building it with PPC. So when I drive traffic here to this particular link, and I get, let's say, 100 leads, I can look at my conversions. I can look at my cost. I can look at all of that stuff. So this tracking is built in. And again, there are companies out there that will charge just for tracking, but you need to pay for that. This is all built into the system. Now, if I was to go to this link, actually this one is cookie to me, so let me go ahead and open a new different browser. But you can kind of see the style of the sales pages we have, of our opt-in pages. These are very different from the traditional opt-in pages. They all have animated components to them. They get extremely high conversion rates, and they kind of are trying to tell a story before people even get there. Okay, so you can go ahead and say, send me the video, and people fill out their name and their email. They click on send me video. The second they do that, they're going to be redirected to your affiliate link, to the sales page with your affiliate link. At the same time, they're going to be added for the next live webinars that we do, and they're going to be added to your list in Aweber, and they're going to be added into a follow-up campaign where we'll follow up with them. Okay, so it's kind of crazy everything that we do for you.
And we come to your house.
That depends, because if you end up being one of the leaderboard winners, then we might. It depends on what you want to do with that. But here's another one. For example, we have get eBay, Amazon, Walmart, etc. The companies who send you this much money with a little bit of bounce and all the stuff, and you can see the rotating DS Domination logo. There's actually another one, which is the nail clipper one. Let me see if I can find that for you guys. Let's see if I can go to. Yeah, so basically it's cookie to me, but there's one more that I was going to show you guys, but I can't right now. But you can see in here yourself, which is the nail clipper one, which is basically a magic curtain that opens up and it shows you the nail clipper. So it's just weird, fun stuff like that. It works really well. I've tested all of this kind of stuff. I do a lot of opt-in designs. I do a lot of marketing, as some of you know and some of you can imagine. I kind of have a weird thing. I think kind of weird, I guess. So I come up with all these random ideas and random things, and we put them in here, and they just work really well. So people apparently like weirdness. So that's basically all there is to it. So that's how Market Extreme works. And you can go in here, and not only can you do this for yourself, now you can drive traffic to these campaigns, you can track your conversions, you can follow up with people, but you can actually go in and you can go to the Get Leads or the Get Traffic page. And when you go to the Get Leads, we are basically going to be the one doing the marketing and advertising on your behalf. So we don't give you a link and say, hey, go out, drive this traffic to this link, which is, again, what 95% of companies out there do, right? They give you a link and they say, now go ahead and tell all your friends and family and post this on Facebook and post this in classifieds and Skype everyone this and email everyone that and get blacklisted. They don't care. What we do instead is we say, okay, you tell us, what is your budget like? How much money are you right now looking to put towards your marketing? And you just put that, and that's it. And you participate in the lead co-op, and then we will basically go out and do the marketing on your behalf, and you only pay for each lead that we generate for you, which is actually cheaper than most of the other companies out there. Okay, so that's I don't know of any other company that does this, so I don't know what else to say. And no, there are no other costs. Once you get Market Extreme, you don't pay a penny to us for that. We are basically taking care of all of this for you. You only pay for the leads if you want to purchase leads in here. But if you, let's say, for example, you want to buy, 10 leads, it's going to be $18 or something. So
those of you on the call, let me just grab some real quick. Those of you on the call, really quickly here. Those pages you just saw with the pizza thing dancing around, stuff like that, they're super cool and super awesome looking. Notice we didn't kick off the webinar with, look at this, we can put this up and everybody's going to opt in, you're going to make a bunch of money. And we only brought out this stuff based on some questions 2 hours into the webinar. So we're not rock and roll, you can do it, smash mouth type stuff. We're methodical type, make everybody win type people. Back to you, Hitesh, sorry.
Yep. No, that's actually a very valid point. And in part, Roger is secretly hinting that I should have brought it out sooner. But the point is that this is not about flashiness. This is not about, look at us, we are superheroes and we are BAs and we are this and we are that. This is none of that stuff. Okay, this is not about celebrating nonsense. This is about saying, hey, you are a teacher or you are a mother or you are this or you are that, and this is your situation, and here is the way to get out of that. Okay, and guess what? We're not going to call you names if you don't buy everything. We're not going to pressure you to go all in. We're not going to tell you that you need to buy $5,000 of worth of stuff so you can make money by reselling it to others. That's not the point here. The point is to be realistic and behave like normal human beings. You know what's funny? The way that some of the people that I've seen who behave in their webinars and in their sales videos and stuff, and they behave in their events, they could not function like normal human beings if they were ever involved in a regular business. Can you imagine somebody going out to the stock exchange and yelling, yeah, you're all wussies for not buying? No, you couldn't do that. That's not how it works. You don't go to the grocery store and there's a guy standing there, you don't buy this pizza, you are this or you're that. No, it's ridiculous. Let's be realistic here, okay? Let's get out of this mentality that online stuff has really put us in and be real about stuff. Karen actually just wrote in. So Karen is the one who just wrote a little bit ago saying, I just made a $110 profit, okay, while on this webinar in the sales. She just wrote in saying that she's also disabled. Now, here's what I would hate to do. And I tell you what a lot of people would love to do. There are other marketers out there who would get Karen right now and they'd say, Karen, that's great. So what's your address? Okay. We're going to show up with the camera. We're going to tape you. We're going to get your testimony. We're going to plaster it on a site. And I would hate to do something like that unless Karen wants that. That's a totally different thing. But I would hate to do that. You know why? Because that's not the point. That's flashiness. That takes away from the fact that this is what works. Karen did it, so it worked. You can do it and it works. That's all there is to that, right? So we don't need unnecessary flashiness, and we don't want to just do that icky, creepy thing that online marketers have started doing. I don't get where that came from, to be honest, because I've tested conversions, and the conversions are horrible on that stuff compared to conversions on being real with people. I mean, who
Karen,
on this webinar?
Karen, you're getting a lot of congratulations, by the way.
Yes. Actually, you know what? Let me just say, for example, Jason says, congratulations, Karen. Brian says that we can come over for dinner, but without any cameras, which is completely fine. But that's the thing. Who is on this webinar at all who would say that, yeah, I would much rather be on a webinar with people talking about nonsense and trying to keep people riled up and going, rah, 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 look at what we're doing, instead of somebody saying, hey, guys, this is your situation. Here's how you fix it. Nobody else does Q&A because they don't have any solidity to the system. They don't have any substance behind them. Nobody shows live demos. Nobody shows their webinar chats because they know that 95% of people in their chats are complaining about them, not happy about them.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get off of that little bunny trail.
Mr. Negative.
I'm a very negative guy, as you can all tell. Is there anything against doing this if you currently belong to an MLM? No, okay, Bambi, we want you to build a list because we want you to make money with your list, and you could be selling I Hate Hitesh ebooks. We don't care. Sell those and make money as long as it's profitable for you. We are not going to ever get in here and say, well, by the way, you have violated the code section 4.18b of our little contract here, and you promoted something else, and we're going to terminate you. We're not going to do any of that kind of silly, stupid stuff. We put the market extreme system together so you can grow whatever you are doing. And we put this training together so you can succeed in whatever you're doing. You need extra income on the side, go for it. You want to do some other company at the same time, you want to do 10 companies, you want to launch your own company, we will happily help you. We have absolutely no problems with any of that.
Yep. You want to cook me dinner? Whatever. I'll come over. Yeah. I am starving, Marvin.
Okay. Okay. So HP has a question about what do you need to do to qualify. Let's say that sales come in and I don't have Pro, then do I get credit for the sales on Pro? If I don't actually have Pro, or if I don't have Elite, or if I don't have Unleash, and so on. Okay, so we have actually a very, very fair system, which is, excuse me. So we have a very, very fair system, which if I can just dig out our little compensation plan, I could show you that. But Kevin was supposed to do that, but he got called off to the Air Force Base, so he's gone. But here's what it happens. So you have two conditions. You can either have a certain amount of personal volume, or you could have a certain amount of group volume or shared volume, or what you call. So what can happen is, if you own Pro, you will earn commissions on Pro, but you will miss commissions on the others. That's why you actually go through those phases, right? So when we followed these 3 phases, note that by the end of it, you already have Pro, you already have Elite and Unleash and Monopoly, you already have Market Extreme. So you're going to get commissions on all of these items, on all of these things when somebody purchases them within DS Domination, okay? But let's say that you bought Pro and you were like, I'm just going to start promoting this, and somebody purchases Elite. Okay, I know the question is centered around the question of, are there pass-ups? Are we going to lose the person? You're not going to lose the person in your downline. We're not going to pass the person up to somebody else. We believe that's actually very unethical to do, because if somebody joins this, let's say you share this with on your Facebook, and your mom, your dad, and your mom and dad together, but let's say your mom and your aunt and your cousin they all go ahead and purchase. And then we say, you know what, we're going to pass up 2 of them to your sponsor, whom these people don't know at all. That's really messed up, because we just kind of leverage your relationship in a really horrible way. So I think that's just wrong. What's going to happen is you will not get the commission on Elite. However, they're still in your downline. So if after that you upgrade, you will get commission on Elite the next month. Okay, so they're just going to remain in your downline, and when the next month's commission comes in, if you are Elite level at that point, you will get the commission then. Okay, so it's a very fair thing, and you do get commissions on Market Extreme as well. You get the same 50% on level 1, 10% on level 2, 5% on level 3, all the way up to 75% commissions. Okay, so you have all of that as well. The only thing you would lose commissions on in one go would be Unleash, Monopoly, and Market Extreme, because they're one-time sales. So if you don't have those and somebody else purchases that, since you don't have enough volume to qualify, then you don't really get the commission on that. Okay, but that's pretty straightforward. I hope everybody understands. It's a very fair and straightforward system. There's no hidden surprises in here at all. Okay, and then when will Unleash? Okay, so Luke, those modules in Unleashed the Unleashed system is actually already complete. We just made space there because we're constantly adding more things there. So we are actually going to be adding more videos there, but that's basically empty space that we leave there in case we need to keep adding to it. Okay, and that's what we will be doing. We're actually adding some more things to Unleashed as well. So when you go in here, this is kind of a quick thing for everybody. You'll find that everything is there that needs to be there, but we sometimes make extra space. Like you will see module 16 to 19. We're going to end this when Roger's last video, when you listen to that, he says, keep looking forward to all the stuff that you'll be getting here in the next few weeks. That's not to say that this is not there and we'll add it later. It's basically because we're constantly adding more stuff. So we add those things in there at that point. Okay. When will these tools be available in the back office? Like the price compare that Hitesh showed. Well, that, as you saw, is actually finished. It's all ready to release. We're going to release Market Extreme first on Thursday, and then I'm going to add the scraper. You're going to find the scraper in your Elite navigation. And then for the Pro people, we are also going to have something for them. But Pro users will only be able to access it after they've actually finished their training in Pro. There's actually only one way to get it, which is finish your training in Pro, or if they get Elite, they can look at everything in there. But it's most likely going to be at the end of this month, or at the end of this week, or the next week. So I would say Tuesday probably would be the latest.
Under the category of success leaves clues, if you're on this webinar for the first time, notice there's not a lot of questions about, I did this on eBay and this went wrong, or how do I do this on eBay? This is how thorough the training is on here, and it's the same thing in the help desk. So you can expect to have a complete understanding of how to do the eBay and all the training if you haven't gotten back there yet.
Exactly. I'm being very honest, guys. It's very, very hard to please me, and some of the people that I've worked with can tell you it's very hard anymore to get me to promote anything to my list, especially because there's just so much junk out there. And when I went through Roger's training way back, like almost like 10, 11 months ago, I was so excited about that because it's so logical and so easy to do. And when I promoted it, how many sales did we get? We had $45,000 in sales when I promoted that one webinar.
Yeah.
Which amounts to almost 1,000 sales total, like 600, 700 sales or something like that.
Yeah, that's correct.
So out of all those people, I got maybe 20 emails where people said, this didn't work for me, and there were 3 reasons that they said it didn't work for them. One was they either said, I did eBay in the past, my account is banned. Okay, and that's usually because they've done something bad in the past. Okay, one was that. The other was people said, I'm literally broke. I don't even have a penny, and when I sell something on eBay, I still have to go buy it from Amazon, and I don't even have $0 on my credit card, so I can't do that. Which we're like, fine. When you're in a better place, you can do it then. That was the second case, and the third case was the few people who said, it's just, this is like a little difficult for me to do, or I'm in a part of the world where they don't have PayPal and this and that. So that kind of feedback, we took all of that feedback, we came in here and we said, let's figure out ways to fix those things. So now if you're an international person, for example, there's specific stuff that we do, that we go over, that here is how international people take care of stuff. Okay, here's what you need to do. If you are somebody who says, I have no available money whatsoever, that's why we put cash out offers in, for example. We said, okay, here's cash out offers, go in here, use this, and you will be able to start generating. You can use some of that money to purchase and fund the products that you want to purchase. So it's very straightforward stuff now, especially even since before. It's like so easy and so straightforward. I would be an idiot for not promoting this stuff. I'd be an idiot for not being part of this stuff. So this is so hard because I wish we had come out with this like months ago, and we kept talking about it, but we never actually went ahead and built this out.
Yeah.
Kept getting distracted by all the stuff, which we all kind of regret now. We're all like, oh, we should have done this way back. And
yeah, we'd have theories on what direction to take, and then when we realized this and embraced it, we just made a commitment to each other that we're not looking left or right. This is what we're doing. So awesome.
Yep.
I'm
Okay,
42. I'm 42. So go ahead.
Yeah, you can go ahead and eat something, Roger.
I laugh because I just said I'm 42, like I was going to say, so I have to eat. Go ahead. I'm still here. I'm still here.
Sorry. I just know you usually get hungry around this time.
I'm all right.
Okay. So, Chin, yes, you can find the cash out offers right here. And then let me explain something. You're going to find that there are different types of cash out offers in here, okay? There are things that require you to purchase something. You can buy, like, let's say, for example, Netflix, okay? They'll say, try out Netflix for $7 and we will give you X dollars, okay? And then here is another one, for example. Join the Disney Movie Club, get 4 movies for $1.99 each, which is basically $8, and we'll give you $17, which basically means you're in profit. So there's things like that, which are, you're in a profit, clearly. There are also ones which are free. For example, in this case, it's free. You're applying for the card. If you're approved, they'll give you $45. Again, you don't have to buy anything for it, but you can actually sort things by this kind of stuff. So you can say, show me high to low, like which things I can earn the most on. You can also see which are the free offers, which are only things that you have to do, like a survey or things like that. Here's one, get paid to be online with swag bucks, whatever that is. But here are different options which are entirely free. But if somebody just did these free offers, let's say that'll be like 55, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that will be $62 right there. Okay, if someone just did the free things in here, that they would make $62. Now, $62 is more than 3 months of paying for DS Domination Pro. If in that amount somebody doesn't make like not 100,000, but let's say like $1,500 with PayPal, with eBay, then they shouldn't be in here at all because they're probably not going to make money with anything. So that's neither here or there. But my point is that you can just find these free ones right here. There are going to be others which are all going to be about buy this, buy that, but all you have to do is just sort through it and find which ones are going to be clearly a profit for you. For example, there's one which is an app. You download this app and buy $10 of credits in the app, and they'll give you $25. It's a clear $15 bonus, so it's worth doing that. Okay, can you explain the difference between Unleashed and Monopoly? Raj, you want to feel that one? Okay, while Roger is busy eating, he muted it and he's eating, and he's going to try and quickly swallow his food, and he's going to unmute, and he's going to say, I'm here. But anyway, before he does that, let me answer that quickly. Unleashed and Monopoly, they are two very different beasts. Okay, Unleashed really is building upon what we're already doing, which is selling stuff on eBay. Amazon is your supplier and so on. DS Domination Monopoly is almost entirely about selling on Amazon, okay? So you are just going to be selling on Amazon in DS Domination Monopoly. Now that's way more money than eBay is. Let me explain why that is, because I'm going to demonstrate this in a pretty interesting way. if you go to eBay and you look at the overall traffic there, you'll see there's a lot of traffic. I think eBay is ranked number 26 in the world or something like that. Let's just go ahead and do that right now. Let's type in ebay.com. Okay, so it tells us that eBay is one of the 21 most popular websites in the world. Okay, that's massive. That's huge. That's wonderful. Now let's go and look at Amazon. Okay, and Amazon is number 7 in the world. Okay, now this is an exponential difference in traffic. Okay, the difference between traffic between 21 and 7 is humongous. Okay, so there's a huge difference in traffic already, but there's a bigger difference here. This traffic here includes a lot of sellers. There are a lot of people selling on Amazon or on eBay, and there are a lot of people buying on eBay. Okay, so this is a combination of both sellers and buyers in one place. Amazon is all about buyers. 99.9% of people on Amazon are all buyers. Okay, and an even more important thing here is that Amazon's checkout systems are much more advanced compared to eBay's checkout systems. Amazon's buyers have their credit card saved on file. They just click a couple buttons and they buy it. eBay buyers are different. eBay buyers are looking for deals. They're typically buying based on PayPal. They have to log in there and so on and so forth. So based on all of those things, Amazon is vastly superior when it comes to selling stuff. Okay. However, Amazon is also vastly more difficult to sell on. It's vastly more difficult to sell on Amazon because you require UPC codes. You have to find ways to get products approved there. You have to have a direct source available for you, and quite honestly, you have to be prepared with a very large amount of shipment available to you, because in some cases you post something on Amazon and you sell 150 of those in 2 days, and if you don't have any means to actually acquire the product and ship it, you're not going to succeed with that. So that's a totally different ball game compared to what selling on eBay is. Okay, if you are up to the challenge of it and you want to do it right off the bat, Monopoly is definitely going to take you there. But I really recommend that you first go through at least Pro. Okay, if you don't go through at least Pro training, you're not going to understand the basics of dropshipping, and then you're not going to understand some of the things in Monopoly properly either. Okay, so do that first. Now, Unleashed is really about scaling up your profits from eBay and a couple other places to the next level. You're not going to go sell on Amazon yet, but you're going to start doing all these different tricks and all these different things that you can do to start making a lot more money per sale and start making a lot more sales with both your eBay sales and with sales on other platforms, including, for example, becoming a part of Google's own listings. So what will happen is when somebody goes to Google and types in a keyword or a term that they're looking for, our system is going to actually, not our system, but some of the sources we're going to show you, some of the places we're going to show you in here, they will actually show your product in Google. It will be listed in Google for sale. So you're going to reach all of these people that are not even a part of they're not even a part of eBay or Amazon and all these places. They're just buying it because they see it on Google at that moment. So it's a massive difference. You have all these people now. There's a separate audience that's on eBay. You also have now all this audience that's on Google, and then you have all of this audience on a couple of the platforms that we show you in there. So Unleashed is in a different way a massive income. Monopoly is in another way a very massive income. So that's really what it boils down to. If I had to place it in any other terms, it would be like this. Unleash, you're making a lot of money selling a lot of products for a decent profit margin. Amazon, with the Monopoly, you'll probably be making a lot more money from 1 or 2 products, but you'll have a big profit margin on those 1 or 2 products. Okay, so they are very different game plans, and they both suit different people. That's why I said once you start making profits, use that profit, buy both, and take a look. Yes, you can, Ron, that's right. On a previous webinar, we showed you about $2,400 a day being made with Unleashed stuff, and that's absolutely true. That's actually certifiable. Well, actually more than that. It was more like $2,800, and we used $2,400 to be on the safe side, but it was closer to $2,800. But yeah, that's Roger once made about that much in 1 day, and that's using Unleashed stuff. And we actually have a couple of the people who studied under Roger, and they're actually really big on the affiliate side now as well, that have done multiple 6 figures just doing that stuff too. So they're both huge. I look, I know this will sound really presumptuous coming from obviously one of the people who is involved in this, but there is no bad thing about DS Domination. We did not just put something in here saying, yeah, this is kind of useless, but we'll put it in there to just pad it, you know. That's what I know that a lot of you have experienced that with other companies. You log in and there's like 20 minutes of videos that are nothing. They're not talking about anything. They're just rambling about nothing. It's like me when I'm sleeping. And then they have other people in there just talking about unrated items, and then they'll just say, and just to really boost you up, we have included 38 ebooks for you that you will never read through and we have never read through, and they're useless, right? That's what they'll do. And they pad it like that because there's no value in what they're selling. So they have to make it all up. They have to just make it up. They have to be like, look what all the stuff we have. We can give you I hate saying this, but we'll give you a blog. I'm like, what is that? That doesn't make any sense. Why would I do that? Why can't I just go over here and blog for free? So anyway, all of that stuff aside, my point in here, the key point I'm making is all of these things are very valuable by themselves. Okay. They're all separate products. They have separate focuses, and they're suited for separate people. They're suited for different people. I know for a fact that there's going to be somebody who's going to go through this training and they're going to say, you know what? I ended up not even doing any of the Pro, Elite, or Unleashed. I'm just doing Monopoly and making a lot of money with that. And there'll be somebody else who will say, I'm making a bunch of money using Market Extreme and making a lot of money with the affiliate side. Somebody else will say, I'm still on Pro and I'm happy. I'm making $2,000 a month doing just Pro and I'm happy with that. And that's completely fine. And we have people like that. We know people like that. None of that is bad. All of that is fine. We actually have one student, his name is Sean, and I think he's doing primarily just Pro and Elite, and he's doing roughly $8,000 to $12,000 a month right now, just using Pro and Elite. So it all depends on what suits you, and all of us are different. Some of us are just not that excited about selling on eBay. Like, I'm not super excited about selling on eBay myself. I'll only do it if I have to, but that's all there is to it. Where do we get okay, Lancelot, you get products to sell on Amazon from the sources that we show you in DS Domination Monopoly. We actually show you all of that stuff in there, okay? And then, okay, what does the scraper do again for Elite? So with the scraper, what you do is you go in and you say, I want to make a $10 profit per sale. Or you can even specify a percentage. You can say, I want to make a 7% profit per sale. And you'll type in the keyword and you'll select a product source. You'll select, let's say, Walmart, or there are a bunch of other sources there. Let's say Amazon, or all of the Elite sources in there. I can't give away all the Elite sources, obviously, but you select one of those. You say, I want to make $10 per sale or $20 per sale or whatever. Type in the keyword. And I just gave a demo with doing keyboard, but you could have typed a salt lamp, or you could have typed a stainless steel bottle, or a pull-up bar, or I'm just looking around, or a home gym, or dumbbells, or whatever, right? Just type that in. And it'll look at the products and it'll tell you what products are available and how much the product will cost and what you should list it for, inclusive of PayPal and eBay fees, so that you make the profit that you want. So what you'll do is then you'll just take that product, take its description and images, you'll post it on eBay, and you'll use the titling system that Roger teaches in Pro to title them properly, so you're making that profit margin per sale, okay? So that's basically all there is. It's very, very easy. I mean, it makes the whole process even faster and even easier. You don't have to figure out the cost. You don't have to figure out the fees. You don't have to figure out your profit margins in there. You don't have to figure out where I should get what product from. And we are trying to work on a system right now which will make it even easier. I can't divulge the details, in case it doesn't work out. But if it works out, it'll make it just insanely easy. You could basically sell something and you could ask, where's the cheapest place to buy it, and you'll get it. That scraper is in Elite, and you will be able to see it right in here. You're going to see a software tab that'll appear in here on next Tuesday. Okay, so all of you who are in Elite, you'll get that little bonus here very soon. But let me point something else out to you guys before we get so caught up in the software, this, software that. Software is really, really overrated. Okay. We've had people in here who have been making a whole lot of money, okay? Who've been making a whole lot of money and they haven't used the software. They didn't even know about the software, and they are doing really well, right? You just saw earlier when we were posting, look at all the money that people are making. These people are not making money using some software. And I'm not saying don't be excited about it. Be excited about it, but just keep that in mind, that as exciting as it is that we're going to get our own software and we're going to have this and we're going to have that, just remember, this is all doable by yourself. Okay, so don't worry that you can't do this without a software. Okay, let's see. I think I've answered most of the questions. I think there's only one or two questions that I skipped in the middle. If I skipped your question, please just type it again, because as you can see, actually, if I showed this to you, you'd see that we have had, let's see, we've had about, how many questions so far? Okay, I'm trying to figure out how many questions we've had so far, but I can't see it. Okay, there we go. We've had 634 questions in here so far, so don't mind me missing some of them. Okay, does Market Extreme Pack come with autoresponder emails, capture pages with video, with leads, what else? Okay, it comes with a lead co-op where you can get leads. We don't use capture pages with video usually because it does not usually convert into good sales. We actually handle all of the capture pages on our end. We optimize them, we keep them tested. We use the animated ones like I showed you before. We give you follow-up emails to use. We give you some swipe emails to use. But we also follow up on your behalf with them, so you don't necessarily have to. We also invite them to the webinar. We automatically register them for the webinar, and when they arrive on the webinar, we tag them to you and we close the sale for you. So it's like you have everything. You have a whole automated sales engine that's working for you, and you guys don't have to do anything about it. Is it okay to sell items on eBay that are sourced from Amazon but shipped from a company? Yes, that's completely fine. Just make sure that it is so that it's going to arrive on time for the user that you justified. That you tell them that it's going to arrive at a certain time. Make sure that it arrives for them at that time. What is the average cost per lead? Cost, it's $1.80-85, something like that. Now that will fluctuate up and down based on the supply and demand. As you can imagine, there's not an unlimited number of leads out there because there's not an unlimited number of people out there. So as we keep going and going and going, as it gets more difficult to generate new leads, we might have to lower the cost. Now, of course, we will have to increase the cost, but of course, what we do is we constantly change out our pages and we keep doing things to keep making it more and more profitable as well. Will there be a video explaining the cash or offers? It's already there now. You can see it right up here on top of the cash or offers. Do marked up books sell well on eBay? I don't think they do. That's my personal opinion. Everything can be sold out there because there's always a buyer for everything, right? I remember once reading that somebody sold a half-eaten burger with mold on it for $30.42 on eBay. Okay, so this stuff that people buy. I never understood. People buy like auctioned clothing of different celebrities, which doesn't even make sense to me, right? But people will buy stuff all the time. But I don't think books necessarily do that as well because there is a lot of advertising on eBay for books at half off and things like that. So that's just my opinion. But there are people who I'm sure will find some specific niches of books that will end up doing really well. Okay. Is it really as easy as posting something we see on eBay, then putting in the customer's info from eBay to Amazon? Do we have to take in the item? Oh, no. It's really that easy. You don't have to buy the item and stock it and then ship it and all that. You don't have to do any of that. What you'll do is when you go to place the order on Amazon, you will just put in your billing information, but you'll put the customer's shipping information in. So the thing will go directly to them and you don't ever touch it. Hitesh, do you have a Facebook page? No, absolutely not. That is a horrific suggestion. No, I'm only half kidding. I don't have a Facebook page. I've never been a huge fan of Facebook. I do have an account on Facebook, but purely just for my advertising account. It's completely empty and barren. It just is sitting there. There's no really purpose to it. But I don't know. That's just how I am. It's kind of like how a marketer can see through a sales pitch. It's like I can kind of see through their advertising platform. I don't know. Don't mind me about that. I can go on a big rant about Facebook and all sorts of stuff. Let's ignore that for now. Is traffic also lead? Okay, let me explain the difference between buying traffic and buying leads. Okay, when you buy leads, they get added to your autoresponder. You pay for the cost of the lead. The lead gets redirected to whatever we deem is the best converting page out there for DS Domination at the moment. With traffic, it's a little different. When you purchase traffic, you get to define where the traffic goes after they opt in. Okay, and we don't know how many of them they will opt in. So when somebody opts in, you could, for example, say, send them to my page where I talk about the evils of an excessively large government, I don't know, whatever. Or where you tell them about how they can take a vacation, you're selling vacation packages, whatever you want to sell. In those cases, what will happen is somebody will land on the opt-in page, they will opt in, and they will be redirected to the page that you specify versus a page that we believe is converting for DS Domination. Okay, so if you wanted to promote something else, or if you had your own thing and you want to promote yourself, you could just use Market Extreme, get traffic for that part. Okay, and Market Extreme is going to take a little bit of the get traffic side. It's going to take a little longer to come out compared to get leads because that's a little easier for us to do. Can you use eBay as your marketplace instead of Amazon? Oh, absolutely. You know what? We should have really specified this. We kind of messed up on that. Let's say that you go to eBay and you're looking for products and you find somebody who is selling a product. Let's look for a toaster. Okay, let's look for a toaster oven. Okay, so let's say that somebody is selling something on eBay. Here, let's look at this one, for example. And this guy is selling it for cheaper than anywhere else. Okay, so he has 59 sold, 39.99. Let's go and check out on Amazon what this is selling for, okay? This toaster is ahead of its time. KitchenAid slice toaster, okay? We're gonna just look for that on Amazon. And we find that it's selling for $59.95. Well, here's another one. This is for $42.99. Here's one for $79.99. Point being that in all cases, this is cheaper than what it's selling for over here. Okay. Now here's the thing. You can take this and you can, okay, I see why. This is refurbished. That's why. Well, you don't want to ever sell refurbished stuff. We actually cover this in the training. You don't want to get into refurbished. But let's imagine for a moment this was new. And this is cheaper here than anywhere else. You can use this guy as its own source. You can go back to eBay. You can post on eBay and you can, let's say, mark this up to 43, 45, whatever you want, right? With the fees and everything included, that you're making a $3 profit to $5 profit. Post it on eBay, somebody places the order from you on eBay, you go right back to this guy, you place the order over here, and just put your customer's information in. You can use eBay as a source just as well as you can use something else. Okay, so that's what's kind of weird to me, because sometimes I'll see somebody who says, well, I couldn't find anything that was cheaper on Amazon than it was on eBay. And in those cases, I'm just like, then why don't you just sell from eBay if it's so cheap? Because you can just retitle it and sell it for a little higher. And it happens all the time. It sells all the time. So that's all there is to that. Okay. So last 3 questions. Okay. So let's do the last 3 questions and then we should be good to go. Okay. When you sell an item, how do you keep track of where or whom you bought it from so that you can get back there to deliver it to your customer? It's very easy. One, you can bookmark it, which you really don't need to. You can save all those things. It's very easy to go back and find what you looked at in the past in Amazon. Very easy to do that. The same way, it's very easy. eBay makes it very easy for you to take a look at all the sales that you made and who's waiting for their order to be shipped and things like that. Okay. So those things are very easily organized. But once your volume starts going up and you're suddenly selling a whole lot of items, you're selling, let's say, 30, 40 things a day, I do recommend that you start getting better organization going at that point. Maybe you can just make a little document or an Excel sheet. You can put those things in there. Um, you can do that. Or another thing that we are working on right now is that we'll actually be working on a thing where when you're placing orders from Amazon, you can just specify what product it is from Amazon, and we'll actually keep an eye on that product for you. And let's say that the product's price goes up, we will send you a notification saying this product's price went up, you better fix it. Okay. And the same thing we'll do with the other case as well. But I'll give you one very simple trick to keep an eye on this. When you go to Amazon, if you add something to your cart, it'll give you an option to save it for later. Click on save for later. It'll remain in your account, and then Amazon will notify you whenever the price changes on that. Okay. So it'll remain in your account. You can always go back to it. You just never have to buy it. So let me give you an example. When you go on this one, if you were to click on add to cart over here, I'm sorry, I removed the webinar out of the way. But if you said select add to cart, it's going to give you the option to either buy it right away, or you can get the option to save for later. Just use the save to later. It'll remain in your account, and you can keep an eye on it at all times. And Karen just posted again. She just made another $110 profit sale. That's two of them. That's $220 made while on this webinar. Okay, that's awesome right there. That's like super awesome stuff. And if you post again, Karen, about another sale you made, then I'll start getting jealous, and I will. No, I'm kidding. We'll be always very happy whenever somebody makes sales on this stuff. Does buying Monopoly give you everything in Pro Elite? No, absolutely not. Think of these as very separate, very different products. Okay, these are not levels of products. Okay, Javier just wrote in. He just made $45 in sale right while on the webinar as well. So Javier has just made 45 bucks. Karen has just made 220, and then there were all the other testimonials that you guys saw. One of these days, we're going to have a webinar where we're going to track how much money actually people on the webinar are making, and it'll be awesome to see that. But like I was saying, these are all very separate products. These are distinct products. Okay, getting one doesn't give you access to another, because these are completely different things. Pro, Elite, Unleashed, Monopoly, Market Extreme, these are all very separate items. Okay, so you could buy Unleashed and not have Elite. Okay, and you could have Monopoly and not have Unleashed and Elite. You could have it in whatever order you want. Okay. Terrence Williams has made 2 sales while on the webinar too. That's awesome. And that's from Jeff White. And Jeff has probably made, I don't know, $1 gazillion while on the webinar between all of his eBay and all the sales he's been bringing in on the affiliate side. So it's crazy, because just looking at stuff, and Jeff's 13-year-old son made a sale. So guys, this is so easy. I'm just kind of like, why are we even talking anymore? You should just be doing this. Okay, what is the key to making more sales? Okay, if I had to just completely compress this down on the eBay side, the key to making sales on the eBay side is titling. It's all about your titles. If you get the right titles and you do the right pricing structure on there, you will get more sales than you can imagine. Okay, because there are a lot of people on eBay who will type in something in search and they're not going to find those products. And if you title it properly, you're going to get it. And that's really one of the key focuses that we have, the key factors that Roger really focuses on in the pro training. Okay, that would be one of the big things that I would specify. The other thing is, don't look for really hidden gem kind of products. Okay, there are very few products out there that are popular, and they're easy to find. You know what I'm saying? It's like some people, I think, have this idea in their head that they feel like there's like this secret source out there. There's some secret product out there that if I could sell this, I'd make a bunch of money, and nobody else is selling it. Guess what? That doesn't exist. There is no secret product, because if something has a demand, then the sellers will fulfill it. Okay, that's a basic principle of the free market. When something has a demand, eventually the supply side will provide for that demand, because everybody wants to make money. Okay, so, and there are people out there with way more advanced tools, with way more manufacturing capabilities, who are always looking to see what the demands are for. So really what I would suggest is focus on what is popular. Focus on what is popular, what is selling well, and then just title it a little better, undercut them a little bit more, be a little better about what you offer, and you will do better than most others. One example I'll give you is you'll find some people who are doing really well selling a product, but they have a shipping cost. And if you can price slightly higher than them, but still offer a free shipping because you're selling from Amazon, you'll be able to outsell them as well. Okay, do I have to buy the product from Amazon before I can resell it? No, absolutely not. This is the beauty of the system. Okay, the classic way of making money, everyone has heard this, right? Buy low, sell high. I don't think there's anybody in the world who hasn't heard of this. This is the classic way to make money. Everybody in the stock market says this all the time: buy the stock when it's low and then sell it when it's high. You know, it's so nonsensically common sense that it doesn't even make sense to quote it. But the way that we are doing it is completely the opposite, which is sell high and then buy low. So you're never going to buy a product unless it is already sold for a certain price. After it is sold for a certain price, then you can buy it. That's it. Okay, and can I put a URL in eBay description? I believe you can, but it's not advisable. You don't always want to do that. eBay is very strict about that. They're very concerned about people trying to take sales away to their own websites and things like that. And so they're kind of concerned about that. Does Amazon have free shipping on everything? No, they don't have free shipping on everything. You have to be careful about doing that. You will find which products they have it on. And in Pro, we go over all the specific figures that you need to think about when you are discussing which products have free shipping on and how to get free shipping and so on. And that's the link right there if you want to sign up. Okay, can you use buyer's money in PayPal to buy the item? Okay, here's the thing. Right in the beginning, when you first start out, PayPal and eBay are going to put some restrictions on the money. They're going to say, this guy is brand new. We don't know if he's a scammer. And we better be careful. Let's not release the money to him until he has shipped the product. And what you can do is you can ship the product and then call them up and tell them, hey, I've shipped the product. Here's the tracking information. They'll verify it as shipped and they'll release it right away. Okay, so you don't actually have to wait all the 21 days every single time. Sometimes you do, but most of the time they'll actually be very flexible on that. They just want to make sure that you're not a scammer or something. They'll ask you to verify your account again, and they'll basically, you can do that. But here's the thing, it gets better over time. Eventually, once you've sold a lot, they'll start basically eliminating that restriction from you. But there's one more thing that you can do, which I know of a couple of people who have done, and they've done really well with that. What you can do is get the PayPal credit card if it's available in your country, and then you can go and buy it with the PayPal credit card from Amazon. Now, PayPal has the option where you can move funds that are in your PayPal account right from there to your PayPal credit card. So you buy it with the PayPal credit card and then you pay it right off. And that's basically it. And I think that's basically it. I think that's the last question that we had.
Okay, I'm here.
That's why you are here, because it was the last question that we had.
Sorry, I had to run upstairs with the kids and then run out. I'm here.
No, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We know you were hungry.
I still am hungry. I'm looking at a Milky Way, but I wouldn't chew at anybody's ear.
Okay. But I think we've answered everything. I gave some people some wrong directions on eBay, which they'll ask you about in support. But that's about it.
I'll be there all night. Bring them on over.
Okay, I've had an Amazon, eBay, and PayPal account for quite a few years. Will I have less restrictions? Yeah, usually you'll have less restrictions if it has a lot of history associated with it. But you have to be careful whether or not it's seller's history, because the seller history is noted differently from a buyer's history. So when you first start selling, they might still put the restriction, but after 25 products or so, they'll get rid of that.
Yep.
Will this video be in the back office of Pro? No, it won't. This won't be in Pro. This will be available in the affiliate side. But if you want to, here's the thing. If you're a Pro member, then we have a live webinar tomorrow. We have a training webinar tomorrow for Pro members only. And you guys can get on there and answer and ask everything you want. How about pictures of each of you so we can see your face with your voice? I don't have any pictures. As you know, I grew up in India and cameras weren't invented there, and so we don't have we don't have pictures. Um, Actually, you can see Roger in some of the videos that he's talking, and that's about it. I think everything has been answered.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, so all of you now, please make sure that you go set up your accounts. Anybody that you invited to the webinars, there were quite a few who were invited because there's like hundreds of people on the webinar. So if you invited people, make sure that they have signed up and so on and so forth. Make sure you work with them and make sure that they work with you. Make sure you encourage them and let them know that this is very, very straightforward. And we are very excited. And honestly, the best thing about doing these webinars is that we have people on here who post in here saying, this is my result. This is what I'm doing right now. Like just reading all the stuff that Karen was posting, the sales that she is making and all the stuff. That is awesome. I'm going to, whenever I get to sleep, I don't know when that will be, but whenever I get to sleep, it'll be a very nice sleep, knowing that somebody is really happy. Okay, and that's a feeling that I don't think most people in any kind of MLM have ever experienced. That's just a sad reality, but that's true. But you know, that's neither here or there. Roger will say his good nights to you guys. Roger, I will not cut you off, and I will not mute you, and I will not end the webinar. So please, please relax, and I'll answer just two last questions, which is, how do we pay for leads? You can actually pay for leads with your approved balance. So if you have approved balance, you can pay for leads through that, and you will actually be able to add to your balance. So if you want to purchase more leads, and let's say you have $30 in approved balance, you want to buy $300 worth, all you will do for that is you will go to the Market Extreme Get Leads page, and right over here, it's going to actually have a little box and it's going to say add more to your balance, and you can click on that and you can add more to your balance and you can use that. Okay, and the maximum number of people that this webinar can have at a given point in time is 1,000 people, but there is always some flux there, like we'll have 1,000 and 2 will drop off and 2 new will come on and so on and so forth. And we hope to, I'm actually exploring some options here soon so that we'll be able to do a lot more. We'll be able to have more people than 1,000. So that's about it. You want to say anything, Roger?
Oh yes, I was scared. You know, first thanks Hitesh for covering there and doing 99% of the webinar and just laying it out for us. You know, lots of growing for me, where I went from a great, amazing product I had my hands on, and I would sell, I would train, I would sell training, stuff like that, and I've grown to a better place just knowing, hey Tesh, going from a spot of rock and roll salesman and you got a problem, who cares, to opening my heart through working with Hitesh and Kevin and all the great people in here being successful. And I stopped celebrating money a long time ago and started celebrating life. And if you're not there yet, it's amazing, and you will be soon. And thanks for everybody being on this call, and thank you, Hitesh.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much, and we will see you in another webinar. I'm sure we have another one coming up very soon. If you're pro, please remember to go sign up for tomorrow's webinar in live training. If you're elite, remember to sign up for the elite webinar. And we have a live webinar, prospecting webinar, especially every Tuesday. So if you want to promote webinar, if you want to get people on the webinar, please use this link right here for the live webinar. And if you would like to share this replay, then you will be able to use this webinar link right here, the one that says webinar recording link number 1, starting tomorrow afternoon or so. We will be replacing this with tonight's webinar. So all of you have a great night, and we will see you soon.
Peace.
Learn how you can create an online income by leveraging 2 of the largest online stores, Amazon and eBay. Click on the link below and get started today.